Hey everybody, hi Sinistello, hey Kevin. Today is Wednesday. It is 2 days before we launch version 0.3, aka checkpoint number 3. Adam is prepping Skeleseller for checkpoint number 3, which launches for free on Friday on itch. What else do I want to say here? The most important thing to do today and tomorrow is to get the game ready for all of you. That's it. So, hey Ryan, hey guest. Good morning, and whatever other time of day it might be for you. I'm just gonna say morning. Let's close out of this. What am I doing? Where is the browser? Oh, yeah, put it over here. I usually have two open. Not this time. Okay, I set up streaming on Steam, but it should only be for people who own the app. So if I go to, no, not there. If I go to, why is this not working there? Is it showing me streaming right now? I don't see a stream. I'm not totally sure how I'm supposed to see it. Like, does it say that I own the game? Yeah, it's already in my library. So then I wonder if I have to go live somewhere. Let me try to stream to store page. How to broadcast your game on Steam, setting up a stream. Here we go. All right, you need a non-limited Steam account. Must have spent at least $5 on the Steam store. Okay. Have I? I think I have on both of the accounts I have. It's really hard for me to know that though. And what am I logged in as? Sorry, this is something I wanted to do eventually, and I set it up yesterday, so I might as well take a look today, but I don't know how long this is going to take, so I might just skip it for a bit. Okay, the account you plan to stream from must own the game, yeah. The account must either have the broadcast live permission or be a member of the store broadcast beta group. Set up RTMP, enter your game's app ID, set your broadcast permissions, set up OBS. Oh, it's, no. Yeah, okay, I don't know what to do about this. Yeah, okay. I'll have to research this later then. Maybe when Ski gets here, I can ask for help. Looked into this at this time, didn't see my stream online. Not sure if I messed something up or if my OBS plugin isn't working for streaming to Steam. Here's the official documentation. Yeah. Okay, this is not the most important thing for sure, but I'll look into that again later. Hey, Darkstorm. So I spent some time yesterday working on the game, and I did some very important stuff. Let me see what I did actually, because I don't remember. I know one of the things I did was, I added in the debug speed up button. You'll never see that. I guess that's only for developers. But this thing, so now when you edit your party, so right now it says mage and warrior. Let's say I change it to be rogue and cleric. Now it changes it here and you can't change it or edit it. So you can't stop those characters from going into battle. Yeah. Hey, Smo. Wow, you're first. Yeah. What's the offline mining thing a reference to? Is it a game or is it cryptocurrency? Was there anything else I did yesterday? Man, that doesn't seem like a lot. Yeah, that was it. Wow. Well, all right. That's a shame. Minecraft. Okay, gotcha. Hey, Stockton. No more adventurer duping. I don't think we did anything about duping. You can still dupe an adventurer if you unlock one and then the guild offers you that same one. But you can't lose an adventurer now. You used to be able to lose one in the portal. And the way that would work is you would repeat a battle. Actually, you'd edit the party and then you click repeat battle on the old party, which is now not possible. And even if you close this, it's just going to pop the window open again. That, I think you might consider a bug. I think people would be a slight bit confused about that, but it's not like a game-breaking bug or anything. Hey, Chris. Howdy. Yeah. Okay. The command, unfortunately, only supports lowercase letters, but regardless, I trust that you'll be looking now. All right, when you close a battle while adventurers still run into portal, perhaps the player would expect the party in transit to get canceled. I don't care about this. Change adventure components, so we don't need these. Yeah, this is just a refactoring. This is actually something that players might see. So I'd like to fix this, but I don't know how to fix this. Rays of light. Yeah, this problem. We remove all the points from a gradient, and then it complains to us that you can't have 0 points on a gradient. So we need to somehow change the existing points to be here and here. Shouldn't this be easy to do? Can you move a point? Move. No. What else do I have with point? Add, remove. Seriously, that's it? How are you supposed to do that? Oh, wait, reverse. What's that? It's not even a thing. All right, let's just look this up. What even is this? A gradient. Godot gradient. Can you add them before moving the last one? I could add them, but I think their indices are non-deterministic, or they're based on their order in the list. I'm not totally sure. But yeah, I think that's the only thing we can do. What is reverse? It is the thing. Reverses or mirrors the gradient. Oh, wait. Sets the offset. Oh, that's what I want to do, right? Is this an offset? Yes, it is. Oh, perfect. Okay, we can just do that. Set offset. All right, int point. Sets the offset for the gradient color at index point. Okay, so what are we trying to do here? We are trying to make it so that there's always a point at 1 that is set to white, and this one changes, but it might also be at 1. But the one that is white is the one. Can we get the color of it? Yes, we can. Okay, then this will be totally fine. This will be very easy to do. We go through the points and we see if color initial ramp dot get color, and then I is equal, or yeah, we can just check its alpha. If its alpha is equal to 0, then we want to set its offset of that point to point position. And that's it. That should do exactly what we had before and not totally mess us up. Now, what is this problem? Floating point. Yeah. Yeah, so less than mathf.epsilon. Cool. How'd you come up with a story for Skeleseller? So it started with coming up with the name for the game, which was, I was trying to come up with all the names, like should it be something descriptive, like Loot Tycoon, should it be whatever else? And then the name struck me, Skeleseller, and I was like, well, for this to happen, you'd have to be a skeleton, though. So then I thought, how do you become a skeleton? And yeah, I think from there, it just kind of naturally progressed. Well, I like it. I don't know if you saw, there is now this available. Sinistello's meme. And I put it into the Skeleseller FAQ. Okay, so we gotta unlock the paladin, and we gotta go battle with the paladin. Excuse me, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Okay, let's speed this up. So they should, oh, this might not work because they might not get hit enough times. But every time they get hit, we should see slightly more particles show up. And it looks like that's happening. Yeah, I think one more time and it would be at max. And now it'll get, no. I don't know how many hits they can take. Maybe it's 10. There it goes. Okay, it just emitted them. So did any errors print out there? No. All right, cool. I think we're looking good. What we should do is probably toggle invincibility. Actually, can we? If we toggle invincibility, does this still trigger? Yes. Good. Okay, so then we'll toggle invincibility and we'll go to a different place. Go to the dungeon. And that's it. It should be the exact same thing. We're just going to let this run. It doesn't even show healing numbers if you don't need the healing. But yeah, I'm pretty sure this is working. And no errors. Yeah. We did it. We did it. Okay. So the way we do this, if you try removing all the points in a gradient and setting them up again, Godot will complain that a gradient can't have 0 points. Instead, we find the point that we're trying to move, the one with the transparent one, or the one with, I'll say the one with transparency, that's probably clearer, and move it. Yeah. Yeah, there's another one of those things that it's like, why didn't you do it the simpler way? And it's like, you can't do it the simpler way. So that's that. Fix spammy bug with Paladin. As far as I can tell, there was no real impact of the bug other than printing to the console constantly. But I don't want players to be confused by the errors that show up. Yeah, this is one of those things where, like I said, this is not a high priority bug, but if you see a whole bunch of red messages in the console, you might be like, oh, I should report these to Adam. And I don't want to get reports on it because it's not a bug or it's not an impactful bug. But whatever, it's fixed. It took hardly any time. All right, change auto battle timer to say waiting for full life. It may be less clear that it's about to start the battle. Let's see what this says right now, because I don't remember. It only happens when you're in the portal already. So we start a battle, send them into the portal, lose, debug, grant, auto battle. It says your party is walking to the portal, and then this. Starting battle in whatever. So this dialogue, what's really happening is it's waiting for your life to regenerate. So it could say waiting for full health. Should it? And yeah, I don't know. Because otherwise I don't think you'd know why it's waiting. I think it probably should say something different. Starting battle in, this is remaining time label. Yeah. What would it even say though? Healing before battle and then the time remaining? Haircut? Yes, haircut. I'm asking what this dialogue is saying. Ryan was like, haircut? Yes. We'll put haircut in here. There. It's just a timer that goes up. Adventurers are resting. I think flavor wise it's good. I think that description wise you might be like, my adventurers never had a rest before this. Maybe adventurers are healing. Healing adventurers before starting. I don't know what to write. I think it should mention something about the life of the adventurers though, instead of starting the battle. Maybe just waiting for full life is fine, and then this in parentheses. Let's see what that looks like. That might be fine on its own. Yeah, I'm concerned that seeing a timer that just says resting is not going to be as clear as it could be. But maybe that's just how I'm picturing it. All right, so now here's what it says. Let's wait for it to happen. And there. Yeah, I think this is clear. You have auto battle checked, so waiting for full life, and then a timer indicates exactly what's happening and why. Yeah, I think it's pretty good. AV Puff. Okay, I'm happy with that. Regenerating. I think it's assumed that waiting for full life means that you're regenerating. It could just say regenerating life and then put a timer. But I think I like this. And by the way, although this is not going to be obvious to play. Oh, something's wrong. Uh-oh. Didn't restart the battle. And it thinks that my party is walking to the portal. Uh-oh. No. Does closing it do anything? No, it's just stuck forever now. Okay, well then that's a bug. How did we get into that state though? We started a battle. We lost the battle. We enabled auto battle. They made it to the portal first, and then this hit full and they just never started the battle. Yeah. Well, what's weird is it does say your party's walking to the portal at the end of all of that. Waiting for full life. Okay, well, let's check this in, which is just a label change. Change auto battle label. I wanted to make it clearer what you're waiting for when the timer is running. Maybe health instead of life. Do I use life somewhere else? Because if I use life somewhere else, then I think this is what's probably going to stick around. I do call it health here. Yeah, then I think health is probably pretty reasonable. Also, full health. I think that's fine. I think this is like typical game terminology. It's okay to have. All right, so the real problem is a problem I only just discovered, which is that auto battle doesn't even work anymore. So that's fun. Hopefully this is not that hard to figure out. What do we do here? They were in the battle lobby. They don't need to walk to the portal. Oh, right here. We call on auto. Okay, let's just put a breakpoint there. Let's also, I now have a new thing called the, I have no idea what I called it. Where is it? Automating setup of game scenarios. Here it is. So we can put this code in, and now I don't need to wonder about how to test this, and I don't need to spend the time doing it manually. So we're going to unlock auto battle automatically, and that's all we really need, those two things. And I did not fix anything right now. All I did is make it so that I can tell what's going wrong. So we need to lose the battle, turn on auto battle, and then wait. And it calls into this, which let's just go into the thing that it's calling and set the breakpoint there. So that I don't need to jump through all these hoops myself. This one. All right, what are we doing in this? Instance adventurer should just be the rogue. Do we have ecs.print whatever? Yes, this. It is the rogue. Good. And they're not in battle or anything. Adventurer. Hey, Goose. State machine.current state.name. They're in the portal. Okay, great. So they are not in the battle. That's not going to be true. So we go on to this one. And we get this. And we check if they're in the battle lobby. Oh, I think I know what's going on. Oh, man. Should have just started the battle, right? What is this doing? It's going to create a walking instance? No, it's not. It's going to call update adventurers. That's fine. It's going to make a party in transit, which is going to realize that they're already in the portal. Right? Num in portal is 0. Yes, num plus plus. Okay, good. Then we break out of this for loop and we get to here. All party members are in portal, which calls into reached portal, which then go. Ooh, I see. We didn't add reached portal until after we've created it. Oh my God. We need some sort of initialize with the adventurers. Yeah. Oh man. Hey, Broken Crown. Hey, Ria. Okay. Well, I see the problem. So that's what we got to fix. I'm going to just put a star here to indicate that I've looked at all the ones above this, although I really should recategorize it. So bug, if you have auto battle on and your adventurers are all in the portal when the timer hits 0, then the battle never starts. Because of this party in transit dot reached portal not existing yet on the party in transit. Okay, a couple ways we could fix this. One is that we could initialize the party in transit after we've added this listener, which is a little weird because the thing that adds the party in transit is not even this class, it's another class. So this has the initialization, and we wouldn't have time to put the listener here yet. We could have the caller create one and pass it in, and that way they could put the listener on it. I guess that's fine. I mean, let's do that and see if it fixes the bug and then see if I like it, because it's so easy to do. So we do party and, well, I guess we can just copy paste this. Equals new. Now, making a new one of these should do nothing, right? Yeah. And then we put the reached portal on it here. And then we do this. Party in transit, adventurers. How's that going? It's going well. I'll show you the game in just a sec, and you can take a look at all the progress that's happened. Party in transit. And I got to write a comment for why this is even being done. Okay, so this is equal to this thing. This is set here. We initialize it. We don't need a return. Set is walking to portal shouldn't really even matter. I think that's it. I think it should just be fixed. Let's try it out. Yeah, so if you've been gone for a few weeks, I think the major things that we've worked on in the last few weeks, one, which you almost certainly saw, because this was the very first thing I think when we got back, was making it so that the game window can be resized and not just totally mess up the game. And then as a result, giving you options for, well, by the way, this settings menu is new, but giving you options to change the game scale as well. So that's working. There's some like oddities that happen with that because it changes the size of the window. So the other thing we focused on was the new player experience. So you start the game and you see the guild, and then you build the guild, and then you hire your first adventurer, and it kind of leads you through this a little bit. And then it'll even tell you, hey, here's how you start a battle. And then the other thing that I think we did, we added 3 new characters, the Paladin, the Archer, and the Witch Doctor. And I think that was, oh yeah, and we also had a music track. So there's now music in the game. I know that's very quiet, but yeah. And I'm working on the second track. I've been making slow progress, but yeah, it's looking pretty good. Getting ready for that launch. All right, lose the battle. Auto battle. This better work. Well, I forgot I left the breakpoint in, but did it work? I left that breakpoint in too. Yes, perfect. Okay, nice. Thanks, Broken Crown. When is launch? It's in 2 days. The alpha is in 2 days. The next alpha. And Payne asks, how do you type capital letters with your keyboard? So I have a shift key here, this thumb key, and then I mean that's how I type capital letters. And also it's a one-shot mod. So if I press it and then let go, so my hands are not on the keyboard, and now I press this letter, it types out a capital letter. But the next time I press it, it's lowercase. So yeah, I use one-shot modifier, so I can start a modifier key. So like I have command pressed right now, even though I don't have my hands on the keyboard. I press N, it opens up a new tab. And then I press N again, and it just types N. Okay, so do I like this way of doing things? I think I'm fine with this as long as I write a comment here for why this was done. Note, this takes in a party in transit. Cref equals, instead of creating one, so that the caller can add a listener before the event is triggered on reaching the portal, which is possible if all party members were already in the portal. Yeah, I think I'm fine with that. Okay, cool. Bug fixed. Let's check that in. Yep, looks good. Just got to revert this. Whoops. Fix auto battle bug. Auto battles wouldn't start if your entire party was in the portal and still needed to regenerate. This was because we didn't have the listener set up on party in transit until after the event was already triggered. For control and alt, it's the same technique, sort of. So I have a dedicated key for shift because of how often you need to type capital letters and how often you use shift. But for everything else, I have no key on the keyboard, no single key that types control or command or alt. So for that, I either need to use a combo. So for example, I can press all three of these keys at the same time. And now that is the combo for command. And now if I press N, it opens a new tab. Or I enter a different layer, and then I now have command held, and I can use it there. If you're curious about any of these things, I have the key map located here. And to give you a quick idea of what I was just talking about here, this is my main layer. You can see it's got all the letter keys, Q, W, F. I can type letters here, but there is no command or control or anything. So all of my other layers tend to have that on the home row. So wherever my fingers naturally rest is typically where they are. So here is on the right hand, and I have Shift, Control, Alting the command key. Here it's on my left hand, Command, Alt, Control, and the Shift key. Here it's on the left hand, and here it's on the right hand. So generally, I put it on the layer where it makes sense for the other hand to be doing the majority of the things. So I have ways of typing it with both hands, and that's all that really matters. Okay, so this is done. The skeleton's first dialogue needs to be kept on screen. This is pretty minor. Yeah, I don't think this is worth doing. All right, this issue, I actually don't know what the problem is. So let's go try this out. Witch Doctor, Rogue, and Mage were fighting in Forest 2 and there was a problem. Hey, TJ. Don't commit messages typically want to be under a certain length. Yes, but that's for individual lines. So I follow these guidelines, and it says keep your subject to 50 characters and keep the body to 72 characters. But you can type out as much as you want within those constraints. So yeah, I type out a lot and just make sure that I wrap them. By the way, you might be like, how is he wrapping them? But yeah, if I type too much over here, it'll highlight it yellow. For this, I just need to delete characters because this is the subject. But for anything else, if I type it out and... Whoops. Oh, that's not a good idea. Okay. If I type out too much, then I just do hard wrap line here and it wraps it for me. So that's how I manage that stuff. Okay, Rogue, Witch Doctor, and the cancel auto battle, and the Mage. Wait, did that not work? Did I not click it? I think I didn't click it because it went away too fast. Yeah. So Rogue, Mage, Witch Doctor, and are we in the forest too? I don't actually. I must have clicked it. Yeah. Okay, and then this caused some errors somehow. I don't know how though. So let's see if it even happens again. I'm guessing it will, and it might take some time. And maybe it was based on having a skill or something. It's probably just a race condition. It's not happening right now. It's possible that it only happens in regular speed, which would be really annoying because that means we just have to wait around for it. All right, let's try this in regular speed then. Well, I guess we can speed up the regeneration. There we go. All right, we're looking over here to see if there's any red that shows up. So far, nothing. I don't have any other details on this though, do I? This must be due to a race condition. Not sure which class is causing it. Yeah. Oh, man. All right, let's put some points into stuff. I don't think this even matters, but maybe it does. There, I have 1 point into everything now. And I guess we'll increase the game speed again. Oh, there, it happened right there. Okay, who knows why? But we know that it's one of these three characters. So now I guess let's try removing one of the characters from battle and seeing if it still happens. My guess is it's the mage, because they're the only ones with those animations, right? Or maybe it's the zombies using bite, but the enemy is dead. Connected a callable delegate and invoking that object. Yeah, I don't know what that even means. Type of debugging I can get behind. Hey, Crucials. All right, let's try just the mage and the witch doctor. And I'm going to clear the console here. And we'll see if it happens again. Hey, APX. Yeah, I got a haircut yesterday. Don't typically buy PC games. Really feel like supporting you. Oh, cool. Yeah, thank you, TJ. Yeah. You never know. This might make it to Switch somehow. But I think it would have to be very, very successful. Okay, there. It happened again. So now what we're going to do is turn this off and try with just the mage and see if it happens even just with the mage. So now we're going to clear this. So definitely happens with the mage and the witch doctor. So probably, oh, it's not even running. Probably not a rogue problem. I'm beginning to think it's a witch doctor problem. Oh, I could toggle invincibility. That might help. Yeah, I think it's a witch doctor. Okay, let's try with the witch doctor now. Oh, maybe it's only when a zombie dies. So toggling invincibility was actually a bad idea. Let's turn that off now. Or maybe it's only when the... I don't know what's happening. Because it's not happening unless I have... Maybe it's a survivability thing, and I need like the warrior in the battle just so that this character lasts for longer. Or maybe it's a survivability thing that was on the mage. Who knows? I don't know. Let's try. Is it like the mage casting the AoE buff to buff the witch doctor zombie, something like that? The mage doesn't have any buffs. What I think is probably happening is something that has to do with the end of a battle and an animation still playing. But I don't know for sure, and none of this is reproing it. It's only when I have these two characters for some reason. And even then, it doesn't happen that often. That's bizarre. That's the cleric that gives the haste buff to everybody. Yeah, weird. This isn't happening. Nope, there it goes. Okay, so it's like once every 5 fights. It's gonna be so difficult. Anyway, maybe we can just search for animation finished. Because how many of these do we even use in the game, right? Yeah, in fact, it's probably this. Ah, okay. So it's an enemy dying or it's a zombie dying. Is something dying twice? Is that what's going on? It's actually possible. Yeah, maybe it's when the battle ends, when you had a dead zombie and then the battle ended. Yeah, maybe something like that. It may be that a battle ends when you have a dead zombie. We could kind of try this by making summon zombie have a much lower cooldown. Actually, let's just set it to like 0.5. Could be trying to cast a spell when a creature dies. It could be. It's really hard to know for sure what's happening here. I think something's dying twice, though. That's my guess. But I don't know for sure. So I'm going to start the witch doctor in the volcano. And they're going to just spawn a ton of zombies. And I'm going to speed this up. Actually, I guess it doesn't even need to be in any special location. Maybe this would do. No, that won't do. Maybe I need the zombies to die even faster. Okay, what if we just repeated this battle a million times? Will it happen here? So far, no. Hey, Phil. Is it an enemy dying while the zombie animation has started but didn't do damage yet? I'm not sure. You know what we should do? We should probably just put a breakpoint in there so that when this finally does happen again, animation finished. So I think, actually, this doesn't even make sense, right? What was the error? Signal animation finished is already connected to given callable. So it must be this is trying to get added twice, which actually I didn't think would even be a problem. Which means that we're calling on death handle twice. Health component on died. Okay, so then I think what we can do is we can just put a breakpoint in here. Actually, this shouldn't even be getting called multiple times, right? If it wasn't dead and it now is dead. Oh, wait a second. Oh my God. Oh my God. I think I know what's going on here. And this is incredibly difficult to repro. So here's what I think is going on. Zombies have a skill that lets them leech life. So I think the zombie dies, but it started biting an enemy before it died, and the leeched life brought it back to life. The leeching, yeah, brought it back to life, so it could die again. I think that's what's happening here. Oh my goodness. What a ridiculous situation. Okay, let's try that out though. And that's also why when I didn't put points into this, that it didn't repro. I need vampiric bite. And now I'm guessing it's gonna happen at some point. I mean, it's still a race condition. Actually, if we put more points into this, it might be. This theory could be accurate, and it could just be that this is not gonna happen naturally here. Let's try this. Or maybe I have to lose the battle for it to happen. I'll never lose these battles though. Oh, there we go. Yeah. I think that's what's happening. Oh my goodness. Okay, let's take a look. So there's got to be a health component needs to have died twice, I guess. So let's do this. Let's say private bool has died. And then has died equals true. And if has died twice. I am nearly positive this is coming from the healing the life thing. Higher level dungeon would kill them faster, hence testing faster. Yeah, that's true. But they need to die by they need to die in such a way that the leech life will actually heal them. So like let's say they have 100 health. If they take 1,000 damage, then they can never heal back up above 0 because they're just going to take way too much at a time. So it needs to be that like perfect inflection point. All right, we need a couple of points into this. And then we need to go to the forest 2. And then speed this up. Yes. Here it is. Oh, no, sorry. That's not it. I got to put a breakpoint here, not on the if statement. All right, and I'm guessing now it's going to happen. It's only a matter of time. Yes, something died twice. That's it. You're saying this has to happen within one frame? No, so what has to happen is this. We have zombie bite, and this actually triggers an animation of teeth closing. So in like 0.15 seconds later, the teeth will close and it will deal damage. And that will steal life, which may revive the zombie. So there are a few things we can do. One is, and this is probably the simplest way, is just stop healing if you're dead already. 2 is stop adding another death handler. Where does it even happen? Animation finished. This is play the death animation. This could just be done at startup time. Although the problem, I guess, is that they're gonna, what's gonna happen on disappeared? They're gonna, we can't just stop the animation from playing again. Oh no, it calls remove battler, which is gonna, it's gonna fully remove them from battle. Is reviving something you like or not? Well, this is not intentional. There is no intentional revive in the game right now. I don't mind a revive ability somehow eventually, but yeah, this is not how that should work. I think if you go below 0 life, then that's it. You're just below 0 life. Now, there is another situation that could happen, which is that the zombie's bite kills the enemy and you end up like winning the fight even though you're dead, maybe. I don't know. Those are problems that we have to solve anyway, though. That's a problem with the mage as well. So let's take a look at zombie bite. How does it heal? Calls heal damage. Should we make sure the source is alive? I don't think so. I don't think that's a smart idea. We could make sure the source is alive here because we know that you're the source. Alternatively, we could change the animation stuff. I don't think there's a problem there. But it would mean that you'd be living while you're fading out, which I think is strange. I think we should just check to see if you're alive here. Are there other classes that have this that could be affected as well? Nothing else has an asynchronous heal. Every other heal is synchronous, I think. Yeah. Here's my real concern here is that we might not realize that this is ever happening again because we might code an asynchronous heal. Man, it's just such a crazy bug. It could only happen with zombies because zombies had a fade out time when they die. Adventurers just turn into a pile of bones. All right, anyway, this should fix the problem. So let's try this out because it was reproing pretty consistently and now it shouldn't be able to repro anymore. So we grant most things. We start auto battle. We give the witch doctor a couple points of vampirism. We go over to here and start our battle. Then we speed this up a bunch and turn on auto battle. That's it. Okay, so as long as we're thinking about this, we have a breakpoint set, and that breakpoint should never get hit anymore. Sounds like it's inviting the same issue. Well, we could always have this here. If we have a died twice and this just threw an exception, then you'd know there's an error. Battle at heal damage, so it stays generic. So there is a problem with that. So battle.heal damage is just like a generic function to have one entity heal another. So imagine this situation. In the future, we add a heal mage, and it shoots a healing bolt at an ally. So basically, now it could create the bolt, like heal mage creates the bolt, then dies, then the bolt hits the ally. What should happen? And my answer is it should heal the ally. So if you were to change this to make sure that the source entity was still alive, then in this case it would not heal the target. But I don't think that would make sense. So it's only in cases where I guess the source of healing was the target of healing. Yeah, I guess we could do that. Yeah, we can say something like if source equals target and health component is dead, then just return. Yeah. It's just the target always. The source shouldn't matter. Oh, yeah, you're right. Oh, man. All right. Thank you, Crucials, for sticking with me through this because I am being very dense. Yeah, I think you're right. I think if the target's dead, just don't let them heal. All right. Well, thank you. That's what we had here too, and that fixed this. So yeah, of course. But I was thinking about it, oh, is because the source and the target are the same. But yeah, don't allow for healing dead targets because it'll revive them. Don't allow for healing dead targets because it will revive them and do some very bad things. Well, and potentially do bad things. For example, in the past, we had a bug where a zombie would fade out when it dies, but it may have a bite animation ongoing and would heal itself back to life, allowing it to die again and play the fade out again, which caused an error. I feel like this is probably too much context here. I think just from a game design perspective, it's like that's a good enough reason to have this line of code. And who cares about the bug that results from it? More game design problem, right? Yeah. See commit message where this comment was added. Okay, that's a little better. That way we can cram it all in the commit message. And that's it. That was our little tiny change that we had here. Nothing else needed to change. That didn't. Yeah. All right. Well. And by the way, the game has been running that entire. Oh no, it hasn't been. I closed it. Well, I was like, we have extra protection because we were just testing this a bunch of times, but we weren't. All right, fix very niche bug. Okay, there was a race condition. There was a problem where a zombie could die more than once. This is because it's the only character in the game right now that has an asynchronous heal. Asynchronous heal. Which means so you could run into this situation. The zombie is alive and bites an enemy. Then the zombie dies. Then the bite animation finishes and applies both damage to the target and healing to the zombie. Then the zombie dies again. The second death would cause an error because we tried adding an animation handler a second time. But even if we hadn't, it could have led to strange situations where a zombie is fading out while still being alive. The fix is to prevent healing an already dead target, since it would revive them. Well, it could revive them. It's not would revive them. Because it could revive them. Yeah. Not a guarantee because you might have overkilled them by enough where it doesn't happen. All right, so there. We added one if statement and then typed up an entire book. Yeah, I think this is somewhat common that this happens, where a bug is very insidious and only has like 2 lines of code that need to change for you to fix it. And in this case, it's just, I like the story behind this bug. Like, a zombie has the leech life thing, and yet it also has an animation time on its bite. So it led to it dying and then reviving and then dying again. And that's just such a unique situation that I had not accounted for, but that now we have done. And by the way, the way I ran into this was I was just playing the game myself, and I must have been putting points into vampirism or whatever, and I just saw this error. And if that error weren't there, I just never would have known there was an issue. And it would have caused very, very weird errors after this that would have been even harder to figure out. All right. All right, I'm going to move this down the list. I think we fixed this. Try to start a battle in an instance slot that doesn't exist because you closed it. Your characters will get stuck. Did I fix that? Does it mean the zombie can also do damage while dead? Yes, it does. And that is not a problem because other characters can do that too. So for example, the mage shoots a fireball, then dies, then the fireball hits the target. It's okay if the mage is dead and the fireball still kills the target, for example. That might be able to get us into a situation we don't want, but that's already something I've written down to investigate. But even then, I don't know if it's a problem. So who knows? All right, what is going on here? The bite is essentially a projectile. It just doesn't look like a projectile. So as far as the player is concerned, they're just doing a little bit more damage, and that's fine. As long as there's no weird state you get into as a result of that. Also, technically, yes, it means that enemies might eventually have this issue too, where they're doing damage despite that they're dead. But again, it should mean really no effective difference. Like, sure, you took an extra 1 hit from an enemy as it was dying. It'll all even out over the thousands of battles you end up doing. Where is create instance slot? Here it is. So if we try using a slot that doesn't exist, then now we create a new one. Yeah, this is not a problem anymore. Also, actually, I already know this isn't a problem because I tested this, right? But let's just try it again, I guess. So all we need to do is click repeat battle and then close the battle. This is a very easy thing to try to repro, and I don't think it's a bug. Okay, so we click this, and then we click repeat battle. We got to wait for them to get a little bit away, and then click close. And it should just start normally. Yeah. Not a bug. Well, it was a bug, but I fixed it. Piano sound is still... Ooh. Oh, good. Okay. I was like, that shouldn't be getting hit, but that's just the regular on-died thing. Player lost, but then won. Yeah, and then that is possible. Like, I haven't actually investigated it yet. It's on my list, but I haven't. I don't know for sure. Okay, so the town theme one. Open this. And I think we need to lower the piano sound again. A friend of mine gave me a tip that I hadn't thought of, which is if you actually lower the volume of the entire track and just hear what stands out, that's a pretty good way of telling you have poor leveling. And yeah, only the piano sound is obvious. So what I think we should do is just go in here and change this from maybe lower it like 5%. Maybe even slightly more. Okay, just make sure I'm controlling the right thing. Can't tell if the strings are too loud now. Let me listen to this again. I think they are slightly loud. Yeah, I think I want to lower all of this by just a little bit, maybe like that. Overlay all the sound waves, see which amplitude is too high. Guessing our ears are more complicated than that. I think it's partially that, but I also think part of it is like sometimes you want different instruments to be louder than others so that they're coming out a bit more. But I'm going to do some like subtle tweaks on this. And let's see what it sounded like in the second part now. I mean, this is much better. Okay, I'm gonna save that. We're gonna export that. And we're gonna use that as the newer version of this. So we'll put that over here. Replace. Everything should be the same as what it was before. Okay. So now we got to go find that track. Also, these bars changed length when I exported. Oh, they just fixed themselves. Okay, here it is. And now we need to put that inside the Skeleseller music 146. It should be the same length. Yeah. Why did that happen? Because I called this town theme 1. All right. There. Everything else should be the same. Re-importing assets. Yeah. So now let's try it in game. Okay, so effectively what I did is I think I lowered it by another 5%. And I think that's pretty good. Right? Yeah, 5%. I also lowered the strings a little bit, and I also individually lowered them at a different part of the piece. So cool. The second one that I'm working on, second theme at least, this is not finished, and I'm still working on the end of this part, but it's more of an ambient piece than a melodic piece. And this is what it sounds like. Yeah, anyway, that's the track. I'm starting to work on the next little bit of this, which, if I could take this out here, was, whoa, sorry, that's not the right instrument. Yeah. All right, where's it go after that? Oh, yeah. Something like that. I like it. I like it a lot. Hey, 3D extended. Yeah, we have the same word. We just pronounce it differently. Yeah, Baldur's Gate 3, they're brain worms. Yeah, so I like this. I like where this is going. You know what this like vaguely reminds me of is the Celeste soundtrack, Resurrections, in that I think Resurrections itself is like a 10-minute long track, and it uses the same general sort of rhythmic structure throughout, or at least as far as I remember. I haven't listened to it in a while. But yeah, I like the yeah. Reminds me also of the Aquatic Ruin Zone in Sonic the Hedgehog 2. Love that track. Okay, cool. So we remixed some of the music. Well, remastered, I guess, something like that. And yeah, now there's a problem with it. The music can still jump scare you because we don't fade it in. It's not even hard to fade in. I just don't know if I want to with that one track. We probably should. If there were sounds playing all the time, I guess it wouldn't be as jarring. Did I change anything here? I don't think I did. I don't like that that dialogue shows up when I seemingly don't change anything because it spoofs me. Yeah, so what if we faded this in over like even a quarter of a second? It would sound like this, I guess. Well, I can't really do it properly. I guess we'd have to move all of this by a little bit. And that way I can fake this. All right, you ready? Yeah, you missed the first two notes of the melody though. Okay, what if I think it needs to fade in. I think the jump scaring people thing is not a good idea. Oh, by the way, Ski, if you're able to, can you see if I'm streaming on Steam? I don't think I am. I looked earlier and I think I messed something up. Okay, now let's close this and make sure not to save this. No. There. Excuse me. Any thoughts on Apple Intelligence and Google Gemini? Not really, no. I I don't even think Apple Intelligence is out yet, right? Or it's out in beta or something. And Gemini, I don't think I've really used. Please always fade in music. Yeah, okay. Let's go try that out. We should only fade it in though when it plays from this random part here. So this has a start. I fade it out, don't I? No, I don't fade it out. Okay, well, fading it in should just be tweening the volume, right? I don't know if I wrote any code for that before. Not that this should generally be all that hard, I guess. So on timer timeout play, yeah, let's fade in the volume level here. Tween volume tween equals new. It's actually on the player, right? Create tween. Volume tween dot tween property. Okay, we got to be incredibly careful with this. Yeah, incredibly careful with this. So we want to tween from 0 up to whatever the... is there a way to do this in a better way? I wonder. Do we have music system? Yeah, we do. Okay, is there a fade thing already coded? No. Oh, but we're changing the volume of the stream, not of the bus. So I think this is okay. Yeah, never mind. We should just be able to tween from 0 to 1 then. And by 0 to 1, I mean negative, infinity to 0. Which we can probably do with the same way we did this earlier. Where were those audio settings? There was some like linear to dB or something like that, or dB to what? There's something 2 dB, I thought. What was this thing called? What am I thinking of? Good dough. Oh man, how do I not remember this? I know I wrote this down. Yeah, math F dot something. What is it though? Linear. Oh, it's not a. It's not a number two. It's the actual word two. That's why. All right, and this value goes from 0 to 1. Yeah, so let's just do that. Hey, TK. Looks like you didn't publish the store page change to whitelist yourself as a streamer for the app. I just published that change. That probably means you need to restart the stream. Okay, cool. Yeah, so then in the afternoon, we should check it. Let me copy this, and then let me write down what you said here. All right. All right, so what we want to do is we want to tween. Let's search for modulate A and just get the right thing that we have here. Yeah. Okay, so we're going to tween the town theme player. We want to tween its volume, which is here. Copy value, copy path, I mean. We want to tween it from 0 to 1. And we want to tween it from 0 to 1 over... Oh, what am I doing? That's not how that works. Town theme player volume equals that. And we want to tween it over, like, seriously, a quarter of a second, half a second? I'm not sure. Let's try that. It should probably be done linearly. Set trans... What is this? Transition type? Transition type linear. And I don't want any easing. I don't think you can stop easing from existing, can you? Starts slowly, speeds up toward the end. Yeah, sure, in. That sounds good. You set up the upload server to use the Steam one specifically. You should see your stream on this page. Okay, hold on. This is not a page I can show because it shows a very private thing on it. But I see this on here, which says that I've been streaming for 1 hour and 5 minutes. And what did you say I did? Didn't publish the store change. So then shouldn't it show up? If I go to this, do I see my stream there? No. Oh, okay, yeah, it has to be something for the afternoon then. Got it, okay. And very expensive hello is gone, but Supreme hello is there now. You got a new one, Z-Wubs. All right, before I test this, I want to make sure I don't blow out people's eardrums. Actually, you know what I can do? I can just mute my stream. There, okay. So now you should be able to hear me, but you shouldn't be able to hear the music. So I'm gonna go test this out. We're gonna set the, actually, how do we test this? I guess we can just put the same tween over here. Yeah. All right, let's try that out. Don't toy with me. Oh, you don't have 15,000 points, huh? Huh? Gotta get more hats. All right, now we set this to max. And then I quit the game and we restart. Yeah, I'll make ultra hello. Did that even work? I have no idea. Hard to tell because I think we need to delay this function by a little bit. What even calls play? The town does. Game started or load. Okay, let's not do that. Let's change this to be that when you press a certain key, maybe, yeah, when you press T on the keyboard, it's going to play this. All right, let's try that out. You won't be able to hear any of this, by the way. I'm just testing this so I don't hurt your eardrums. Oh, yeah. There's a bunch of problems here. Can't be set to not a number. What? I wonder if it can't be that call. It's got to be this call. Is this should be a floating point value. Like, no way it wouldn't be. We're between decibel and linear. Oh, it says right on the thing right there. And yeah, it is a float. What am I doing wrong here? Let's just put a breakpoint here. I can't believe the state of the hat economy. She won't show on the store because it checks the app ID permissions. Oh, at the beginning, I see. Gotcha. Okay, so then by the end of today, we should have tested that it works on Steam, and then Friday can be the first public stream, which means I should write myself a note to make it fully public. Make it fully public on Steam. Hey, Krasner, thank you. Okay, so now I press this key. It should break in. We should check this. This should be like negative infinity or something, which maybe is considered not a number. Yep, that's probably the issue. In fact, what happens when you... A equals that. Invalid expression term flow. Okay, you can't define variables here. But yeah, how do we fix that? Do we have to set it to like 0.01? Yeah, it's negative 40. That's probably effectively negative infinity. 0.01f. Maybe that's the only problem. Although I kind of doubt it. And then what is this? This should be 0. Yes, good. Okay. And the halfway point is what exactly? Negative 6. Yeah, so this is the logarithmic scale that we know about. So let's stop this. Let's try this again. So Ski, I know I asked it as could you check it, but you answered the secret question, which is could you fix it? And you did. The checking it in the afternoon, I think I should be able to do myself. And then hopefully it just won't need fixing. Okay, this worked. I know you can't hear it. But it is kind of abrupt because of this in here. I think it needs to be out instead. Yeah, decibels are just a weird system altogether. Like it's hard to understand as a layperson. And especially it has to do with how you perceive sound. This track wasn't meant to be faded in. Again, I know you can't hear any of this, so now I could have it play. I'll show you what I'm listening to. Thanks, TK. Okay, so you're about to hear the music fade in. Listen to this. And yeah, the problem is that it's fading in over half a second, so you lose the melody. I wonder if a quarter of a second would work. Yeah, there was fade. It was only half a second. It might be more or less obvious now. Honestly, either way, I think if you're scared by music just popping out of nowhere, that a quarter of a second is not long enough for you to not be scared. Maybe what we could do is we could have this fade over 1 second, but not fade from 0. Maybe it could fade from a half. Yeah, so it's set decibels at -6 and then go up to 0. Or yeah, I could change the music. That's the other thing I could do. And changing the music is the most reasonable way, but it's also the most work as opposed to tweaking some numbers. Okay, that's pretty good. That's definitely better. Okay, let's do that. All right, so we'll put this at the bottom. Whoops. Put this at the bottom here. There we go. Ambient sound, then the song starts. You know, let me see. I guess whatever it is that I'm about to add is something that wouldn't get heard. What was that? Oh, yeah. Okay, so what if we did... just even starting with that? Yeah, I think even starting with that could be decent. Just a little turnaround there. All right, I'll have to think about it. But at least the fade is good. For the next track, I don't think it's going to matter because it's more ambient to begin with. So if you cut off the first little bit of it, it's not going to make a difference. Ooh. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think it's gonna matter as much. All right, cool. Where do we leave off? Where's the star? Where's the star? There it is. If you sent a character to battle, the guildmaster should hide their nudge. Did I check this in? I didn't check this in. Fade in the music. Yeah, revert this. Fade in music. Trying to reduce jump scares here. Yeah, I think different people though, I don't know how many, like what percent of people, but if you think about if you just had music, sounds, and that's it, there was no like UI or voice acting or anything, how many people have neither music, like just sound, or both? And I talked to my friend on the weekend and he said he typically mutes the music and plays his own stuff on Spotify. So I actually don't remember if he said he would have sound effects on. I think he said he would. And then how many people turn off the sounds? Maybe fewer? I don't know. Anyway, my point was, I guess if you turned off the sounds and just had the music, we still want to avoid the jump scares. But maybe most people just don't even touch it. They just level it differently. All right, well, the guild master should now check if you sent a character to battle. You also use Spotify, yeah. I guess it depends on what kind of game I'm playing. If it's an idle game or a game where the music kind of sucks, then I'll turn it off. I'm trying to think. Pretty much every Nintendo game, though, I listen with the audio just set to whatever the default settings are. And if I'm playing a game with voice chat, then I typically turn everything way down. I'm trying to think. Is there any other behavior I have with this? I guess it doesn't really matter what I do, though. It matters what everyone does when they play this. Music in Minecraft makes it vibe. Yeah, I think Minecraft is definitely an inspiration as far as how music is done. It's just, yeah, it's really good. They love the music in WoW. Yeah. Well, especially too, I think the way WoW was sort of originally played is you'd be playing the same character for so long that I think ambient zone music was a welcome reprieve from just the sort of boredom you might have otherwise. I say that lovingly. I really like playing WoW. I like the music. But yeah, I played way back in the day, mostly when it was a slower grind. Okay, so this is the Guildmaster at the beginning of the game, and they do not check to see if you have sent a character to battle. They check to see if you started a battle. And technically you could cancel it. Oh, sorry, I forgot that was on. Okay, so yeah, this is the intro to the game. You click look around, you click build guild, and then after hiring your first adventurer, they're gonna say, hey, use the start battle button. Yeah, send them into battle. Okay, so this is where we need to think about what's a new player going to be thinking. And if we click start battle, a couple things happen. One, this is still on the screen. Two, your adventurer just left. They're walking over to the portal. And three, you see this walking to portal at the bottom. So I think we should hide the nudge as soon as you've started the battle. I think that's pretty important. The Guildmaster has no way of knowing that right now. We just have this started battle thing here. And that is not helpful. Also, this is not helpful. Let's fix that really fast. So it's not started battle. What does it even do? Unclicked. Unclicked goes into the town. Player wants to start fresh battle. Yeah, so this is where we need to emit a signal to the Guildmaster. We need to say something like player used start battle button. And that's going to go into here. And we just call into the state machine with this, which means every state could potentially have this. Yeah. Panning to the portal and following the adventurer sounds cool. Yeah, I think we probably have to do that. Honestly, it really shouldn't be that hard to do. But yeah, let's start with this. Actually, I guess, if we're gonna follow the camera on the adventurer, then we could keep the nudge open. Whatever. It doesn't matter. All right, so what are we gonna say? Player used start battle button. This is only ever gonna be used by the guild master. Yeah. In fact, nothing even uses start battle. Well, maybe something does. I don't really know. Okay, so guild master, we want to listen to that same thing. We don't care about started battle here. No, I guess we do. I guess it's fine. Hey, yo. Actually, do I care? What am I talking about? Also, if every state machine gets this, can't we just find every actor with a state machine? Yes, that would be the smart thing to do. Yes, it would be. Has started battle equals true. It's like has used start battle button. Where is this even? What is anything reading this? No. I guess we wanted to save this eventually, but I'm not gonna concern myself with that for right now. Has shown battle nudge. This also doesn't exist anywhere? Huh. Has paid for next adventure. Okay. Now we need a signal for this. There was started battle. And we want this one. And this is when you do whatever the on click thing was. This, yeah. So invoke. Did I type something wrong? What? Oh, I'm in the wrong. Oh my god. This needs to go to the town somewhere. Player wants to start battle. It's just called start battle. This is on chose instance party, which I guess technically is what's happening there. Yeah, that's fine. Well, it's kind of fine. Is this called from anywhere else? Yes, it is. Of course it is. Able to auto repeat. All right, on chose instance party. Let's do that. It's got to call walk to portal to start battle. So this is a thin proxy around this. This should also have instance slot to use. List should be called adventurers, and this should be called instance ID. And then we're also going to do player something, something, whatever I called. Yeah, that. All right. And now the guild master should know when to shut their mouth. Let's see if it works. All right, so we go through the startup flow here. So the dialogue should show, oh, wait a sec. I think I need to test something else here. All right, then as soon as I click start battle, that should go away. It did not. Why not though? Oh, because there's no state that listens to this, of course. There's some like, oh man. We gotta look for started battle inside the states. Nudge player about battling. Yeah, we gotta replace all of these. Tell player about battling. Started battle. This isn't correct either. Waited for first battle to end. That I think can remain the way it was. What about these other ones that I had? Tell player about battling, nudge player about battling. Waiting for first battle. What are you? You're a guild master thing. Okay. Hey, Presley. Thank you. Now, the next important thing after you're done with the first battle is we need to tell you about how to build the alchemist. So is this looking good now? Should show the nudge. Good. Then click start. It should go away. Perfect. Then we'll pan, I guess, to where the adventurer is. and they start the battle. That's a big problem. I don't even know what caused that. What? Why is it tiny? What did I do? I didn't even change anything. What? Yeah, what? None of this should have changed that. I'm so confused. Wednesday's been going pretty well so far. We're already making progress. Did I don't even, let's just push this and see. What did I mess up? Fix camera bug. That was yesterday though. Has this not pushed yet? Oh, I see. Gotta do one of these. There we go. Okay, so fade in music. This didn't change the zoom level. Remix town theme is just a wave file changing, right? Also, out of curiosity, how many bytes changed? It doesn't show me. Fix very niche bug. It's fine if you don't notice the haircut. Well, at least for me, maybe not for your wife. I really do not understand this. What in the world could I have changed? If I do that exact same thing again, does it happen again? Like what if I just start a battle immediately? This is full size. Did I zoom out on the instance somehow? What did I do? I I don't know how I broke that. I'm gonna go through what I think were the same steps. I was just panning the camera over here, right? And then the instance started and it was really tiny. Okay. Something's drastically amiss. Yeah, I need to check the VOD. I'll probably do that in just a sec. I want to try one more thing because I guess technically what I did originally, although I don't think this would have any impact, is I waited for this thing to give me that dialogue and maybe it caused an error. Did I don't think I saw one in the console though. And then I clicked this and I don't think we even zoomed in. Yeah, there's the problem. So it must have something to do with the guildmaster. That's so bizarre. If I resize the window, does it fix anything? No. If I start a new battle, does it happen? What if I even repeat that battle? That's tiny. What about another one? That's regular size. What? It's got to be something about these state changes then. Because that's the only difference is that the guildmaster comes into play here. I guess started battles technically doing nothing. Huh. Yeah, I don't know what caused that. Stash them and try. Yeah, I guess so. And then I guess I'll check the VOD. Well, no, I don't need to check the VOD. I know it already is reproing this. So strange. I didn't touch any scene code. I didn't touch any camera code, and there are no errors. So somehow going through this flow is causing the battle to be zoomed wrong. I had to wait for the dialogue to show up too. That was the other weird part. Or it's a race condition and it coincidentally happened twice out of the 3 times I tried, in the 2 times with the condition that I thought was being met, which might be unrelated. Okay, no, it's happening here too. All right, so then it doesn't have to do with the new code at least. It probably has to do with the Oh, I know what's going on. At least I think I know what's going on. Is this camera script being used anywhere else? No, actually. Oh my God. I did change a town camera to have a zoom of 1, but this is the town's camera. This shouldn't even impact the instances. If I set this to 3, what happens? And why did this only happen when I wait for the nudge dialogue? I'm still just going to run through the steps exactly the same way. I know this takes a while, but if this fixes the zoom level, though, I guess it does have to do with the town camera. Even that wouldn't make sense, though. It does? What? Is this not the camera that has the script attached? It is. And at the very beginning of this, we call set zoom to 3 anyway. So why does the zoom level matter at all? What if I set this to 9? Did that change something in the game? No, but I also didn't start from Godot, so I guess that wouldn't have ever made a difference. Let's just create an instance and click debug speed up. Doesn't change it either. Wow. Wow. What is happening? I mean, we already found the craziest bug this morning with the whole zombies reviving themselves thing. Am I reading that value from the instance camera? There is no script for the instance camera, as far as I know. Yeah, even here. What? That's so strange. Changing this did have an effect. Or at least it seems to have had an effect. Instance slot. Yeah, there's the camera. This camera is set to a zoom of 2. And the zoom of that should never change. And I guess the instance slot has a script, but does it ever do anything with the camera? It gets it so that it can call init, so that it can change the camera around, I guess. But it doesn't actually ever change the zoom, does it? Position is changed. Tween the position. Yeah, the zoom never changes. What a strange thing. If I speed this up, does this actually help me at all or no? No, it still takes 5 real seconds. Oh no, I haven't hired the adventure. Can I speed this up? That doesn't actually work the way I want it to. Huh, it's only when I wait. What was the comment about the zoom being set to 0? That was about the instance being affected by the camera, but not the canvas layer being affected by it. I can't use the debug speed up button, or else it doesn't repro. It didn't repro there. What is happening? Is it a... I still don't understand this. It literally only seems to happen if I just wait here for 5 seconds and then click start battle. And I have no explanation. It didn't even happen that time. Okay, this has to be a race condition. I don't even know what's racing though. All right, let's do, whenever I'm in this situation, I like to do this. Well, first write out what the bug is. Bug, the first instance can sometimes be zoomed out. The repro seems to be go through all of the new player stuff, wait for the guild master to nudge, start a battle, and that's it. So the thing I like to do here is facts. This was a problem even as of the prior commit. This seems to require going through the new player flow. Speeding up walking to the instance doesn't repro it. Hey, Batman. We can't just click create instance. That doesn't repro this either, right? Doesn't, it only ever happens with the first battle. What else? Why does this only happen in this one case? I can't think of what it would be. And why am I only noticing this now? Why wouldn't we have seen this when I tested this in the past? I guess we don't wait for that nudge all the time. I don't even think the nudge really has anything to do with it, though. This text that shows up here after 5 seconds. But it's like it has to be exactly this set of steps for this to happen. I want to take a picture of it, too. It doesn't happen all the time. What's doing this? Did I change something recently that would have caused this to stop? No. I didn't change any scene files. Unless I forgot to save. No, I didn't forget to save. Coded some stuff specifically for the first battle the other day, if I remember correctly. I didn't do anything about zooming, though, and I would have tested it after I wrote whatever I wrote. I still can't think of how this would happen. And I also can't think about why it just stopped happening. Only thing I can think is that maybe somehow the game scale isn't taking effect. But that should affect literally every single node that exists. Maybe it involved like moving. No, none of what I'm saying makes any sense. Doesn't seem to repro for you. It's not even reproing for me anymore. Yeah, and obviously we know this is happening somehow. Somehow I got myself into this state without having any code around triggering this myself. And I can't figure it out. I'm just gonna not touch the mouse. Like I wonder if there's something about moving the camera. No, that's not happening. All right, I want to look at the VOD. Speed this up. Didn't happen there. Yeah, it happened there. Okay, so what did I do in this repro? I waited, started the battle, panned the camera a little bit, and it just started and it was tiny. Couldn't write before. Oh, thanks, Appleseed. Yeah. I'm glad to hear it because, yeah, it definitely takes a lot of work to make that music. How did this happen? Didn't move the camera at all until after the instance appeared. No, I panned the camera on this. If you take a look, see, I click higher, then I pan the camera going over to the portal. And then that happened. Maybe I have an idea here. What if I do this? That's not it. Oh, until after the slot appeared. I see. Okay, so after I click start battle. But let me try that again. Does it have to do with panning the camera? As I know. Could have done this. Build, hire. No, I must have panned the camera because the guild wasn't over on the right side of the screen. It was in the middle, right? Yeah, it was in the middle. So I must have panned it even beforehand. Does it have to do? It shouldn't even have to do with the position of the town camera though. And I can't get this to happen anymore. Oh, what in the world could this possibly be? If it had happened just once, I don't know, maybe I would have felt differently about this, but it happened multiple times. And I didn't change anything special. And I was on the earlier commit too. So it happened there. I went back and I tried to look at, okay, did the diff affect this? Is there anything in the log? And then I tried it again and it happened again. Or did I not? Maybe I just had the window open still. Press down in panning mode when it started. I couldn't figure anything out with that. I thought I was doing the same repro every time. Okay, I tried again here. It didn't happen. I tried it again. Yeah, it happened again there. What is in common with those two things that I'm doing? All I'm doing is starting the game, build the guild, hire everything. I don't know. I guess I'm like flying through these things. Oh, I don't think that was all that fast. Then I wait around for this. This thing pops up. I click start battle. Then I panned. And it eventually happened. I don't know. All right, we should probably give up on this for right now, especially because it didn't happen in subsequent battles. I'm pretty certain there's still a bug here somewhere. There is one other thing. We changed the camera to have a zoom set to 3 here. I'd love to test some of this stuff out. I guess the problem is that there's no way to know if it's working. Like I set this to 8 and it doesn't matter. This should have no impact on the other camera that we have. I'll have to search the code for zoom and see if anything is changing it. I just can't think of what else would do it. All right, so now we're zoomed at a level we're not even supposed to be able to get to. Which, like I said, should have no impact whatsoever. Yeah, well, whatever. Search for zoom. Click start battle when you had the notification in the top left when it happened, and now you waited for it to go away. Not sure if that can have an effect. Yeah, I guess we'll try that out. I still don't know what could cause that. If there are no errors showing up in the console, it's like the notification system isn't even connected to the camera system. We could just keep this here for a little bit longer and then start this. Yeah, I don't have any other ideas. It didn't happen. Now let's search for zoom. There are very few places where I modify the zoom. One is in this script, which is for the main camera, which is not what we're dealing with here. And then these places, and that's it. The other things that are going through my head is, could this have to do with window position? Could it have to do with Mac OS? I just don't have any reason. I don't have any explanation for any of that stuff, though. I don't know why I'm even trying this again. Let's pick the mage this time. That'll certainly change the outcome of this. Did not happen. Any other initialization stuff that could potentially cause this? This gets a camera that's set to, so if I manually set this to 1, then this should be zoomed out, right? It might only be for new battles. Yeah. Okay, so that's what's effectively happening, is somehow the camera is getting set to a zoom of 1. I just don't have any explanation for how that's possible. And this script never changes the camera's zoom, right? Never even calls anything on the camera. Yeah, it's only gotten so that we can pass it in an instance. The instance sets the position and then tweens the position in between stages, and there are no multiple stages. So it's literally just that we set the position to 0. All right, let's search GitHub. Godot, GitHub. Camera zoom reset. What? No one knows how Godot works. Yeah, I don't even see anything here. Camera zoom 1. I don't know if this will help either. I'd be very surprised about this. Also, given that I'm only just noticing this, also that it's rare that it happens, also that Ski couldn't repro it. Like, there's so many unusual things going on to cause this behavior. And if only I had a consistent repro that I could guarantee, even if it takes 15 seconds, it's like, that'd be fine. But it went away. It went away as soon as it started. And I don't have a reason for why that might happen either. There's no time-based state that we have. The window should be spawning at the same size every single time. I added this stuff, but we didn't need this commit at all. We could have just pushed it. In fact, let's do that again. Let's stash it. Let's rebuild. The only thing that I could maybe think of is that there was some state that was causing us to not build. And once we were in that state, it was just broken code. But I don't know how even that would have taken place. And we didn't change any camera stuff anyway. So yeah, this dialog pops up and we do this. Yeah, that'll no longer go away now because that was the code we were trying to change. We got to here. It's not happening. There's one other theory that I have, which is that we get the camera to like a non-integer pixel position and that somehow has an effect. But yeah, all of these are shots in the dark. I'll try one more time with what I think I was doing. Issue with memory. It shouldn't be. It doesn't make sense why, if there's an issue here, would only affect the camera zoom and nothing else. Yeah, all right. I'm gonna give up on this for right now. I don't know. If players run into this issue, maybe we can try to find something else out through there. Alternatively, we could just put a script on the instance camera that sets it zoom to 2 so this never happens. Although it's set to 2 through the editor, so again, just no idea. I wonder if Godot got into a bad state that I'll just never be able to reproduce. Yeah, who knows? Okay, well, whatever. Let's move back to what we were doing. So this was making the guildmaster hide their nudge when you were done with this. Yeah, I think we're just done with that now. All right, let's go check this in. Yeah. All right, hide guildmaster nudge on using start battle. The battle doesn't actually have to begin for the guildmaster to stop telling you about starting a battle. Now, technically, and this is pretty minor, I think, but you could stop your first battle before it starts. And I'll show how that's doable, but I don't think you'd get stuck if you did that. So you do something like this, you click start battle, and then you click cancel here. So now your rogue is just going to walk around town forever. And you can just click start battle again and fix this, and they'll go into the battle. So I assume you'd figure that out if you were a brand new player, but technically nothing's going to tell you to do that. Yeah. Well, I'm happy enough with that. This is done. Customizing a party is confusing since the UI doesn't change. Perhaps it should change. I did that already. Bug. Suppose you start a battle with a mage, then you edit the party, include the paladin. Repeat is still enabled. Yeah, we disabled it. You shouldn't be able to train your adventurers until you've sold a potion. Otherwise, oh yeah, this is this is a soft lock problem that I just never even realized was in the game until I was testing it for my friend. You are given 100 gold at the beginning of the game, and there's literally nothing you can spend money on at first other than the guild. So that there goes 50 of it. That's fine. Then there's literally nothing you can spend money on other than your adventurer. So there goes 20 of it. Now though, we unlock this button in the UI. And if you click this, then there's no way for you to earn money. It's now impossible. And you can't ever build your alchemist because you won't have any money. Which is very funny to me. Yeah, so you click this and you just can't build it. Now what we could do is have this just take all of your money and not even check for the cost. And if you happen to train your adventurer with your first 5 gold or 15 gold or whatever, then fine. You leveled up a couple times and you cheated the system. But I think the real way to do this is just don't let you train your adventurer until you're allowed to. Yeah, achievement unlocked. It would be funny if that happened. Now, I don't think I want to stop you from looking at your adventurers, but that's another thing we could do. So I guess we have an option here. So problem, you can train your first adventurer with money that should be spent on the alchemist. This soft locks you. And option number 1 is don't even let you open the adventurers menu. And option number 2 is don't let you click the train button until you've unlocked the alchemist. There are other options here. Option number 3 is like do something funky with money such that this doesn't soft lock you. I don't really think that's the solution. So it's pretty much between 1 and 2. I think 1 is probably the simplest from an interface perspective of like you don't have anything else you can even click. So you just wouldn't even see this until you finally unlock the alchemist. I think I want to do that. Yeah, let's go do that. Town menu. So I guess we're hiding that too. Town menu. Wait, both of these are showing by default. Does that mean that we hide it in here? Yes, we do. Okay, well then same thing in this toggle skill tree button. All right, now when do we show this? What? When do we show this? Ah, there it is. Unlocked Skeletree. Okay, so when do you get this? When you've built the alchemist? Town dot. I guess we have a different problem here, which is there's a shortcut that lets you open this menu. Where's this thing called? Unlock Skeletree. When you get your first point. And up until then you can't spawn it even with the hotkey. No, nothing stops you from spawning it with a hotkey. That's a problem. Will you be able to have multiple saves and users within the game? Yeah, I'm planning on allowing that, yeah. Okay, well, this is an issue. Let's go solve this issue, and then let's solve the next issue. Toggle Skeletree. Here it is. All right, this should not be allowed if not has unlocked Skeletree, just return. This might bite me in the future. Also, where is this even stored? It's in the Skeletree itself. Okay. Skeletree dot. This is stupid. Here's what we're gonna do instead. Skeletree dot toggle visibility, and put all of this code into there. So if you haven't unlocked this, don't do anything. If you have unlocked this, then toggle the visibility. And then put this above the last public method that we have. Or below it, I mean. Right there. Skill tree needs to be the exact same way. Skill tree. So there was a has unlocked Skeletree. And there should be this for this too. This is going to be very simple. Has unlocked Skeletree. And the town presumably has a toggle Skeletree visibility. Yeah. Which checks to see if you have any adventurers first. And if you don't, it doesn't let you open it. This has the town here. I guess we're just going to put the same toggle thing right here. Toggle. Where are our public functions there? Public void toggle visibility. All right. Skeletree.toggle. So you need to have unlocked it. And then that's based on having adventurers. So you need an adventurer and you need the alchemist. Technically, just having the alchemist is enough because you couldn't have gotten it if you didn't have an adventurer. So by the transitive property, we can avoid having a second Boolean there. What are we doing? Has unlocked. Yeah, then just do this. Okay, so now something needs to set this to true. And yeah, we had an unlock function here, but this was based on a signal from town. Is that correct? Two signals, two things. What? Oh, loading from save data. Sure. Okay, yeah, same thing. We need to listen to some kind of you just got the alchemist kind of thing in the town. So let's build, add shop. Here it is. If shop dot, do we have an item type or something? Get type. Is this what I think it is? Nope. Shop has item category. That's what I want. Item category. Actually, it doesn't matter. Any of your shops. As long as you have a shop, you have a way of getting money. So yeah, I don't care about this. So skilltree.unlock. And in this case, we're just going to say unlocked skill tree equals true. There's slightly more to it than that I need to do. I need to show the option in the town menu, which means there probably should be an event for this so that the town menu can listen and then turn this thing on. Yeah, but we don't have a way of getting this skill tree, do we? Because I never need to make that public. No, I don't. We could put it on the town, though, instead of this. Alternatively, I could just call into the town menu directly. Where do I unlock the skill tree? Here. All right, so where's the menu? Menu dot unlock skill tree. Okay. Public, just make that thing visible. Put this among the last one. There we go. So now just loading from a save file probably won't work. Loaded game from save. We need to know if you, well, I guess. Yeah, whatever. I think this is fine. I think technically there's still a problem here. You can load a game from a save file and not have a shop and then have the adventurer menu be visible. Yeah, so now there is no adventurer menu. It's just your money showing up at the top. Even when you build this, it should not show your adventurer menu. Yeah, you start a battle. There's no way for you to spend money. You finish the battle. There's still no way for you to spend money. You build the alchemist, and now you can finally see the adventure screen. Yeah. So now if we save and load, that's gone. But it's gone because there are no shops. So I'm not really super concerned about that. That was already a bug. Okay. So this is worth checking in. Prevent soft locking the game. It was possible to train your first adventurer, thus spending the money dog-eared for the alchemist. And there was no way, and there's no way to earn money without the alchemist. Now the adventurers button doesn't even, oh yeah, also you shouldn't be able to press T to open up that menu. Let's make sure that's not the case. Okay, you can't hear. What about when you hire your first adventurer? No, you can't do that either. And then once you win that battle, still can't. And then once you build this, now you can, yeah. The adventurer button doesn't even show until you've built the alchemist. Good. All right, user research we did. Keep the camera locked. Script more what you have. When you hire your first adventurer, spawn the next to Guildmaster. We did all of that. When you start a battle, pop up a dialogue. Your adventurers battle on their own. Okay, that's maybe still worth doing. Consider relocating the guild. Pressing T closes the start instance dialogue. Did I do that? Is that intentional? Toggle skill tree? No. What? What makes this thing go away? Close button. Start battle. Wow, I do not know. Well, whatever. Let's go find out. I wonder if it's still a bug. I think I wrote this down on Friday, maybe. So you start a battle. Oh, you need the. Oh man, there's a whole lot of things I'm gonna have to fix here. All right, so we win the battle, build the alchemist, open this thing up. Yeah, weird. It is happening. You press T and it closes the start instance screen. Why is that? What's even causing that? Start instance. Hide. Oh. What? I've got code here that if the skill tree becomes visible, to hide the start instance screen. Why did I do that? And vice versa, it hides the skill tree? Did I do this? it was clearly intentional. I wouldn't have written code like this, but I don't think either of these should be done. Also, I think the skill tree should be changed so that it's in the middle of the screen and takes up more of the screen. So I think it's gonna be even less of a problem. I think we just get rid of these things. Yeah, I don't know why I did this. Okay, well, goodbye. Let's try that now. It's just gonna let us have both dialogues on the screen. Yeah, I remember being annoyed by this, which is why I'm doing this, but it wasn't like a game-breaking bug or anything. Okay, so now I can have both of these open at once. Yeah. I mean, there's a close button over here, so it's not like you can't just close this yourself. And this is going to eventually probably have an overlay and be your only focus while it's open. And by making it bigger, we can make it a little bit more usable too, but that's not a task for right now. Okay, so allow start instance and skill tree to be open at once. They used to be mutually exclusive with their visibility. And that's all I changed, right? Yeah. Okay, what else? Show who's talking, tell you how to start a battle. It could be done in screen coordinates. Could be in the Guildmaster code. When you win the battle, spawn one potion, then it'll never disappear. Pan your camera to it. This outlines around character. What? What is this? When you start a battle such that you're now using the third battle slot, the start battle button won't go away until the slot is actually in use. Really? Well, it went away immediately there. But I think we've also added in this UI that didn't exist before. Now, what happens if we close this? That works. And then what happens if we, how do we do this? What if we start a battle and then close this before they make it there? Yeah, that's all working. I don't think this is a bug anymore. All right, so I think the biggest task that we have to work on is to still teach the player at the beginning of the game how to get started. We're going to also have to do some balance passes at some point, which is pretty much either today or tomorrow. Like I did a little bit of this just to make sure my friend could get started, but the game is not very well balanced. And at the very least, we put in a flee button. So if you do end up with the cleric fighting against 3 other enemies and the cleric's just not dying and not winning, then fine, leave the battle. So I think I'm going to do what Kevin had suggested, which we talked about a little while ago, which is this part's all clear. You know how to hire your adventurer. You know to start the battle because they're about to tell you. You click start battle. Now I think we should pan the camera to follow this adventurer. And then it makes it over to here and you see them enter and they start the battle. So that way something's happening and you're not just waiting around. So that's what we're going to go do next. Update, I never figured this out and could no longer repro it at some point. No idea what happened. In fact, I'm just going to delete this. It's not helpful if I can't repro it again. All right, so center the camera on the adventurer walking to battle. So what we could do is we could add a follow entity to the camera and enter this state when you start your very first battle and leave this state when they make it to the portal. Prevent user interaction while the camera is following an entity. This should be pretty easy to do. Private node 2D entity, tracking entity to track. Actually, we could just make this public. Get set. All right. When set, I guess we stop the player from moving the camera. So this is going to be a Boolean that actually tracks a couple of different things then, huh? Private bool can player move equal to true. So get is going to return can player move, and there is no entity to track. Set is going to set that to a value. This isn't needed. This isn't needed. You figure out the zoom bug? No, I just moved along. Yeah, I can't figure out what's causing it. Why is this private? Why is this private? Did I do that? I don't remember doing that. Yeah, I guess it can be private. Sure. So when you set this thing, actually, I guess we don't really need to do anything special. Oh no, when you set it, we do need to show, we need to move the camera to that character. Private void center camera on entity. I guess we could take in the entity. All right, so what are we going to do? We're just going to set the position of the camera equal to the entity's position. I think that's all we need to do. And probably then clamp the camera to the screen, right? The process will do that. Process should probably also call this. If, oh, hey, there's a velocity in here too. We could clear that out. What does clear out the velocity? Unhandled input. But nothing's going to clear that if we set can player move to false. Well, well, well. Let's go change that then. If not can player move, velocity equals 0. I know what's the problem with this. We can't do that. We can't do that. We can't do that. We're going to get there eventually. Now I don't see an issue. I think it's... What is going wrong here? Do we need this? No. Can we change this? Okay, well, this shows that I don't know what I'm doing. There's a way to do this, and it's not whatever I'm doing right now. Hey, you can do it this way. Wait, so I don't need to change what I was just doing there. Why is this not automatically fixing itself? That's the part I don't understand. It must mean there's an error somewhere else in the file? Yes, here. Did not realize. I could think it was an issue here. It's not. All right, so if the entity to track is not equal to null, then center the camera on it. There we go. If your first battle is running and you double click the start battle button, the button disappears and you hit the throw error you wrote. Interesting. All right, I will write that down. Gotta do that. Yep. Okay, so center camera on entity we've got working. We don't need to call this over here. It'll just happen in the next process frame. So now let's try it when you press a key in the town. So when you toggle the skill tree, we'll just say camera dot entity to track equals get adventurers dot first or default. Yeah. Now let's try that out. So I can move the camera. Now I hire an adventurer. And now I press T and it locks. I can't do anything. I can't move the camera at all, but I start a battle and it pans. Hands down on the keyboard. Okay, cool. That's looking good. Now, there are a lot of properties for a camera that we can use to possibly make this look better. I don't even know if it would make it look better, but there's position smoothing and there's drag margins and stuff. So it doesn't need to fully center the character. To be honest, I think it looks kind of fine as it is. Maybe we could polish it a little bit by using one of those things, but I don't think that really matters right now. So the way we got to do this is enter the state when you start your very first battle. So something needs to know that you've started your very first battle and then change the camera to lock onto your first adventurer. And any number of things could know how to do this. The town's the thing that has the camera, but the guild master is the thing that starts the new game stuff. So I feel like the guild master should probably do this. Yeah, player use start battle button. And this is only ever in the... Oh, not this. Something overrides this, right? Oh, all of these do. But you change into standby in all of these? Yeah, standby means you started your first battle. So in this case, what we could do is we could trigger that town logic. Town component. This isn't even how this code goes. Get this on the entity. The guild master should have a town on them, right? They have it. That's weird. That's weird. I guess I decided not to do things that way. But then we need to make this public. Fine. Get private set. Put this down here. Change the name. Change it in standby. Hopefully you can only ever enter standby once. Is that true? What's this? What? Oh, weird. That's not what I wanted. Yeah, this is definitely not what I wanted. I guess, either for there to be a state where, Actually, you know what? This is stupid then. Let's go undo what I just did. Let's put this back to how it was. Did I remove enough or no? There a change here? No, there isn't. Okay, good. Yeah, I think we should just have some other system handle this for us. Because we have this town, what started battle thing. Where is that? Player use start battle button. Yeah, here. Something should just listen for this and know how to change the camera. And it can just pass in the town, I guess. Yeah. Yeah. That's going to break whatever was listening to this originally, because this now needs to take in a town. Town, yeah, there. Okay, well, we can just make a new system completely for this. Just some script that listens to this thing. And we could just do that in the ready function. Yeah. What do we call this? Beginning of game camera tracker. You just make a new one of these things. Name TBD, but behavior not TBD. We know what we want. And I guess we can put this into town. Yeah. Okay. So all this is going to do, and in fact, this could have had the town. Oh, wait, but then I won't have a camera. Oh, that's our problem. It's not that we don't have a town. Oh, darn it. Oh, sometimes I make changes without fully thinking through this, and this was one of those times. Yeah. So this needs to be constructed with, actually, we could use this kind of constructor, right? Town. Private town down equals town. Make it read only, sure. Delete everything else we have in here. And then we need some sort of, we need a proper constructor, I guess. Because we need more behavior than this in here. And we're going to listen for player use start battle button. All right, and what this is going to do is get the camera and lock it to an entity. Entity to track equals town.get adventurers dot first. Now this is not public, so that's the one thing we do have to change. Remove the, oh, nice. It knows in this case because it's not a partial class. So we make this public. Oh wait, we can't do it that way. Get private set. Move this way down to here. And then rename it. All right. So what we've done is we have made it so that when you click that button for the first time, this is not checking the first time. Yeah, we need to check. Has tracked first adventurer equals false. All right. Then just return, otherwise set this to true. All right, so now something's going to track it, but nothing's going to stop tracking that adventurer. So when it makes it to the portal and actually starts a battle, we need to be aware that we've started a battle, which we could just listen to here. Started battle equals started battle. And we just set that to null. Let's try it out. I don't think I left anything else in here. Maybe I did. Oh, yeah. So now when we go through the beginning flow, you hire your first adventurer. You can move the camera around, you can do whatever you want, but as soon as you click start battle, it's going to focus on this, and you can't move the camera at all until they make it to the portal. And then you should be able to move it. Yeah, perfect. I don't think I tested zooming there, but I think it's fine. Anyway, subsequent adventurers should not have that same thing happen. So when I hire this one and start a battle, yeah, I can still move the camera and everything. Oh, but this is gonna set. Okay, I see. Private bool is tracking first adventurer. We need this to be set in here. And then only revert this one if we were tracking them. Yeah, it'll follow the first fight every time you launch the game. That is true. And this is something I'm not gonna worry about yet. We have that save mega issue we're gonna have to put this into. Yeah. I guess I'll just copy this here. Needs to save that we've already followed the adventurer, or at the very least, just assume that you have. I feel like you just shouldn't even allow saving the game in the first like 1 minute because there are a lot of states that I just don't feel like saving. And if you lose them, then you've lost at most 1 minute of gameplay. I don't think anyone's going to be mad about that. Yeah. It's not like there's some in-depth tutorial or something. Games that have a long intro cutscene or something, I could see that mattering. But then you just make a skip cutscene button and you're fine on that front too. Okay, so we're one step closer to having like fully introduced the game. The things we still have to do are to tell you about the alchemist, tell you about moving items around, like things we still have to do for new players, tell you about building the alchemist. maybe pan the camera. No, that's probably not a good idea. Tell you about manually moving items, and maybe tell you that the game is laid back and battles are automated. Yeah, unlocking save game around the time. Yeah, I think that's a pretty good idea. All right, this stuff is done, but I never checked it in. And then I got to take a quick break, and then we'll come back and keep working on this stuff. All right, this all looks good. Yeah, this was all very, very straightforward. Moved the camera, which means everything that changed here is just camera stuff pretty much. Why is this a problem? It's not unnecessary. Can we do this to make that go away? I'm intentionally not saving this off. I don't think it likes when you do that. Yeah, I don't think there's a way to stop that, is there? Does it complain now? Yeah, okay, that seems to have worked. Great. Okay, yeah. Anything else? Oh, I never tried zooming. Yeah, I never tried zooming. So you can zoom in here, but then you get your first adventurer and click this, and yeah, you can't zoom anymore. Oh, which means we probably need to set the zoom level before we enter this state. Although, I guess using whatever your zoom level is would be fine. Unless maybe you're like super zoomed in. I don't know. Let's see what that looks like though. I want to zoom out completely and see, is it still nice? Because if it's nice zoomed out, I think it'd be nice zoomed in. And either way, you're the one who set the zoom level. Although maybe we shouldn't let you, maybe we should let you zoom still and just not let you pan the camera. Oh, darn it, I didn't even do it. I said I was going to do it. So zoom out and then try that again. Yeah, so it's panning, but it's always got the adventurer in view because we can see the entire town. Oh, that's not true. We can't see the entire town. Yeah, I think it's a nice little polish thing, but I'll just write it down. Polish, let the user zoom when we're tracking an entity. No reason why they shouldn't be able to. Or maybe it's maybe there are just two booleans. Can move camera and can zoom camera. And we just set them properly. Yeah. Okay. Let's check that in. Pan camera to first adventure. This tracks them walking to the portal to start the very first battle. All right, so tell you about building the alchemist. We're gonna resume this when I get back from my break because I gotta take a little bit of a break. Is it jump time? It's jump time. Excuse me. Hey, everybody. Hang on one sec. Excuse me. All right. So, sorry, that was a little bit of a longer break than normal, but I also haven't taken any breaks up until then this morning. So, this all kind of works out. Close the game. Okay, tell you about building the alchemist. Let's look at what we have right now. So you won a battle. Your characters are now carrying items around, and we need to tell you somehow to go over here and build the alchemist. One way we could do it is just slowly pan the camera over to here and be like, hey, well, we probably need to tell you, you just got items. Need to tell the player that they got items from the battle, but they don't have a place to sell it yet. Then maybe pan the camera to the alchemist and have them build that. No place to sell. Yeah, maybe pan the camera. Okay, so yeah, you get done with your battle. Items pop out of here. There are a couple ways we could do this. One is we could stop your adventurer and your worker from picking up the items and be like, hey, look, those are items. You just got them. I think that part would be obvious enough. And we could say that in the dialogue anyway, like, hey, you just got items from winning a battle, but you have nowhere to sell them yet. And I think I kind of want to close this as well, but I want you to be able to see that you won and have this information on screen. Yeah, I don't know what the flow is going to look like for this. Another way we could do this is we could pan the camera back to the guildmaster and be like, hey, you just got items. Now you need to go make the alchemist, and it pans it way over to here. But I think maybe it's better to just have a dialogue appear on screen. And it's assumed that it's a guildmaster telling you this stuff, I guess. You know what we could do? Okay, here's something I hadn't thought of. we could track. Okay, here's an idea. What if we made sure that at least 2 potions dropped? So that your skeleton picks one of them up, or has one to pick up. Then track the skeleton and say, you found some potions, but you don't have anywhere to sell them. We need to pen him? Yeah. Yeah. I think the guildmaster should just talk. But I like this idea of tracking the skeleton. Tell me more. You click the button to proceed, and it pans to the alchemist. Then build an alchemist. Build a shop here to be able to sell the potions. Yeah, something like that. Excuse me. All right, so how's this sound? Make 2 potions drop. Your skeleton picks one up. We track the skeleton. We say you found some potions, but you don't have anywhere to sell them. You click tell me more. It pans to the alchemist. Build a shop here to be able to sell potions. You build the shop. Your skeleton, or, well, I guess actually, you know what we should do? We should probably say, make it so that only exactly 1 potion drops. So that exactly 1 potion drops and your skeleton gets it. We don't have an easy way to do that, but we could make a state that says adventurers can't pick up items. and then lock ourselves into that state at the beginning, or even just have that state get removed after like 15 seconds, because 15 seconds is long enough for the skeleton to make it from anywhere. These are things that could go horribly wrong. We should probably just do it based on events. Probably prevent adventurers from getting it. Then track the skeleton and say you found some potions, or you don't have anywhere to sell them. You found a potion. But you need a place to sell it. All right, you click the button to proceed, pans the alchemist, build a shop. You're here to be able to sell the potion. Yeah, okay, I like this. So how are we gonna code this? Detect the end of a battle. You need to make sure only one potion drops for the first battle. You know what we could do? We can make an instance that is special and doesn't show up in the list and always drops exactly one potion. Alternatively, we could just detect that it's your first battle and only drop one. Alternatively, we could delete all the extra ones. Yeah, anyway, detect end of battle, make sure only one potion drops. Make sure your adventurers can't pick up the item until... Yeah, can't pick up the item. Soon as your skeleton picks it up, make it so that adventurers can pick up items. And then show a dialogue from the guild master, but in the bottom of the screen, saying, yeah, you found a potion. And then wait for you to click the button, show another dialogue saying, build the shop here. And pan the camera to the alchemist. Yeah, those are the tasks we have to do. All right, do we have anything to detect the end of a battle? Because that's the first thing we need to do. I'm going to try to get this done. It's about 11:30. Why can't I prove that it's that? It's about 11:30, and I think we can get this done before lunch. Maybe. So let's just go full throttle on this. Then I think we probably need to spend a lot of the afternoon working on balance. Maybe not too long. Like, I don't want people to play the game and be like, oh, the next instance is too hard and I don't know what to do. And then that's what the feedback ends up being about. I want it to be clear that I mean for you to progress, and that when you hit something that's too difficult, I let you know that it's supposed to be too difficult. Like, hey, you just beat all the easy content. Now have fun, figure things out. I don't know, whatever, you're done with the alpha, that sort of thing. And if you get a dialogue saying, hey, you're done with the alpha, then anything you do after that, you'd be like, oh yeah, okay, cool. I get that. Now I'm supposed to provide feedback. If I could do it stat, that would be great. Yeah, I think it's going to take way too long to do. So it'll probably happen in 2025. Unless Skeleseller is so successful that I continue to work on that for a while. Realistically, it's not going to be, hyper successful. So I'll probably end up doing it in 2025. Okay, so detect the battle end. What do we do? We have instances manager. End of battle. Is the battle ended? We call into this. Oh, the town does listen for this. What? Oh, and we even have a signal here too. What uses this? Just this one thing, huh? Interesting. Okay, well, that's already town.ended battle. Detect the end of battle. This is done. Town.ended battle. A series of cutscenes with buttons to proceed to next until you get to a point to make your own choices. Hope that makes sense. If you're talking about what I think you're talking about, TJ, I think what I meant was more along the lines of, for balance, we have like the forest and then the dungeon and then the volcano and then the forest 2 and then the dungeon 2 and then the volcano 2 and so on, whatever. Right now, this flow is probably pretty good and this flow is probably frustrating. And if I don't give any indication that like the game ended right here at this arrow, then you'll be like, oh, this shouldn't be frustrating. Like, why did I all of a sudden hit a difficulty wall here? And it's not intentional. So yeah, I gotta figure out how much time we want to put into balancing, knowing that none of this is probably gonna matter in like 2 months. Because we'll probably have added new classes, we'll probably have added new enemies, we'll probably change up how items work, or maybe there'll be some new thing in the town. And I don't want to spend a lot of time on that. It's tough because it's a combination of things, from how many enemies there are in each location, to what they drop, to how much those drops are worth, to what quests they're for. And that all plays into that beginning of game state. I love your note taking. I'm trying to follow some of the things you've done. Add some parts of para to it in Notion. What is para? Huh, I don't know what that means. Hey, Padawan. It matters because we learn along the way. I don't recall what I said. What matters? You mean the balance? I agree that the balance matters. Okay, let me put it this way. So right now we're in an alpha version. We're working on version 0.3. The final balance of the game is going to have to take into account any systems that don't even exist yet, such that it's not really worth putting in a lot of time toward the balance right now. Para method for organization. Let me see what this is. Projects, areas, resources, and archives. I see. Gotcha. Also, we only have 2 days. I don't want to push the launch of V0.3 to next week, for example. So it's kind of whatever we can get done in that time. Anything we can't get done, we're gonna have to show a dialogue before that, just saying like, well, you did it. You beat all the content that's here. Anyway, getting back to this. So we have detect the end of battle, make sure only 1 potion drops. I mean, that's easy enough to do. I do feel like we should put you into a special instance in that case, that then you can't get in the instance list. And that way it can be something that just always drops 1. Alternatively, we detect when we get to dropping loot for the instance. Where do we generate this stuff? This is instance data. And what's it called? Item drops? Where's that used? Here. Generate drops. This is in all instance data. This does not know if you've done a battle before. And it's a static function, so it has no way of getting that. But whatever calls this could pass in the town. Yeah, it's just this. And this presumably has, yeah, this has access to the town. So this could pass it in. And then this could tell you if, I guess, if it's your very first battle ever. It's fine to just swap Forest 1 to drop 1 item. The thing I'm concerned about is that if that's all we're going to have you do, I don't think it's the time to teach you about swapping locations just yet. The most appealing button in the state you're going to be in is going to be the repeat battle button. And I think probably most people are going to click that. Cutscenes instead of programming new states to turn on and off that will only be used once. I also don't really know what I'm talking about coding wise. I'm not totally sure the context of this, TJ. I think what you're probably talking about is a finite state machine where you're in something like the beginning of game state and you have some thing that can transition you out of here, like get first item, and then that puts you in a new state of like teach player about item. So this can include cutscenes, I guess, but the state machine itself is something, for one, you need to figure out what this looks like just in plain English. Like, hey, you get your first item, then you do this. It's like storyboarding almost. And then you need to code it. So whether or not it's cutscenes, I think you'll still need to code it. If they repeat and only get 1 item, that's still fine. They'll get more items at higher level locations. Yeah, I think the way I was planning on doing this is, where did I write this down? Yeah, here, generate drops. We'd have some if statement here, like if town dot is first battle, just return 1 potion, something like that. And that way we don't even need it to be in the instance data. It's just, and in fact, maybe it's even a special item. Maybe it's a special item that gives you like 20 gold instead of 3. Although that would probably confuse you because you'd probably be like, oh, I'm going to get 20 gold every time. But yeah, something like this. That way we just hard code a thing in here. Fell asleep for half an hour, had the most vivid lucid dreams. Need to do this more often. Interesting, yeah. Track any of the player's decisions and how the UI is being used. You mean metrics wise to see if I make decisions differently based on it? No, I'm not right now. He's fairly quick. I just don't think it's worth needing a new system to hide it. Yeah, I agree. Yeah. So okay, we're gonna pass in the town here, and let's go fetch that. There are 2 places this is called. One is purely for debugging information, and the other is this one. So there's the one that's actually needed. The other one is, I mean, I guess we still need to change this, but it's just not very important. All right, so now we have the town. Now something needs to know whether you've done your very first battle yet. Were there normal and quest items? They give quest items and intro stuff, maybe? Man, I'm sorry. My throat is just not going to get cleared. So I'm just going to keep clearing my throat. We don't have the distinction right now between normal and quest items. All normal items become quest items or can become quest items. And the very first item we give you has to just be a normal item. I think this will work fine. So this would be like bool has has done first battle. Now in ended battle, we have this, and we set has done first battle equal to true. And we need to save this eventually. I'm just going to write this down here. Save town dot has done first battle. It's probably not even going to be named that in half a second because I'm going to need to change this to be public. So we make that public and we do a get private set. Cool. We bump this down to here. Whoop. There we go. Semicolon we don't need. Okay. So now we're in this. And we're going to say if town dot, if you haven't done the first battle, then just return item ID dot potion. And what is it? Small blue potion. Yep. Next up, we need a way for adventurers to not pick up items. So we have pick up item. How does this work? Item display. Yeah. So something before this needs to know. Adventurers have their own state machine. The state machine has worker wander. Worker wander has some pickup item thing. Find ground item. Yeah, so we need something that checks here, can adventurers pick up items? And we have an easy enough way to do this, which is just have you, no, not have you won the first battle. That's not how that works. It's got to be has done first battle. We got to do something like public bool, can adventurers pick up items? And we do a get private set, yeah. Got to persist that too. And town dot that. So now worker wander can go use that. This has find ground item, which is presumably called from here. Yeah. This is like find item to pick up. Find item to pick up. Find item to pick up. All right, but we don't do this unless, so we need to tell if you're an adventurer. So we have an entity type component. If you're an adventurer, where's the, there it is. If it's an adventurer, then we do some other stuff here. Now we get the town component. tc equals get if tc dot can adventure. What did I call this? Yeah, I called it that. Why can we not? Oh, because it's in town. So if they can't pick up items, then just return. You will forever wander around the rest of your cursed existence. But if you can, then do something. So great. That looks good. Now you can pick up an item once the worker has picked up an item. And we have no way of detecting that right now. So how do we want to do this? We could just do it when the shop gets it for the first time. Yeah, it shouldn't even make a difference. And we have an event for that right now, which is quest stuff. Where does that happen? Shop, quest. Quest ID, quest progress. Update progress. No, there's something that makes it available. Let's search for next quest. Check for next quest. Here it is. Ah, acquired item. Oh, good. There's a signal for this. Yeah, so here it is. Can create customers equals true, and now also can adventurers pick up items equals true. I thought this was to get you to build a shop. It is. So when the shop acquires an item, it means you've built the shop and that now adventurers can pick up items. Up until then, only your worker should pick it up so that we can have you be the focus of this. Yeah. All right, so have we coded that stuff? Where are we now? Make sure only one potion drops, done. Make sure your adventurers can't pick up the item. Oh, you know what we should do just for the sake of testing? Is have this return a different item just to make sure that it's working. So maybe a medium green potion or something. That way it's just obviously like we've coded this correctly. We got to change that. Make sure your adventurers can't pick up an item, done. Show a dialogue. So we haven't done that yet. But let's try this out now and just see that these changes work. All right, so we're going to go through this just like a player would. Build guild, get adventurer. Now we click start battle. I can speed this up. Then we win the battle. We get a green potion. Where's my skeleton? Oh, there it is. Oh, actually, that's kind of interesting, right? We could make it so that your skeleton only starts walking to the potion once the battle is done, and then we can track them even picking up the potion. In fact, your skeleton could be the one talking. Let me see how that would look. So when you click start battle, yeah, your skeleton starts moving immediately. They shouldn't. They should only do that when you win the battle. Where does that happen? Worker, state, machine. Wait for first battle to end. Yeah, this should just have been ended battle. And then we don't have those states, of course, but we're going to go add those. So ended battle. In fact, nothing is using started battle now, I'm pretty sure. Ended battle, ended. Is anything using this? I don't think so. Adventurer. Oh, yeah. Okay, fine. Wait, what? No, that can't be right. I don't think this is correct. No, I don't think this is needed. I think if we just deleted this, everything would still work in the beginning. Also, nothing's going to call ended battle, so we need to make it do that. I don't even know what should call it. What? How do we do this? It's got to be this that calls it. Is this in the adventurer right now? In the town. Create worker. Okay. Ended battle plus equal ended battle. No overload matches. Oh, yeah. This needs to take in all the stuff that ended battle passes in, which is the battle result in the instance ID. We actually don't even care about this. In fact, we don't need to care about this. Probably nothing wants to know if you've done this, but I don't see a problem with putting it in. Plus, it's quick. Who cares? All right, result ID. Same thing here. I guess we need to plumb this through everything now, huh? All right, you know what? If it's not going to be used, then let's delete it. I changed my mind. Yeah, we'll do that. What? Why can't I find... Where did I put that? Not that, not that, not that. What? What did I... Where did I write that code? Huh, I have no idea. Yeah, there was like a worker state machine thing. This, yeah. I searched for ended battle, didn't I? Maybe I didn't. Oh, maybe I searched for battle ended. That's right, yeah. Okay. Well, then we need to do this here. So this takes in a result and an ID, and we just don't care about it, and we pass it on. Yeah. All right, now I think everything's good. I think the adventurers are still going to move to the portal at the right time, which means that I don't even need that state that I have. It's more like a standby state. Although I'm not positive. It's possible that it was needed. Let's try it out. All right, we click start battle. Yeah, they walked to the portal anyway. So we can delete that state completely. Adventurer waiting to start battle. Yeah, okay, well, goodbye. And I guess delete this stuff. We'll probably want this back at some point, but we'll just add it back at that point and not now. All right, we should still be able to build this. And then I want to test what happens when the battle is won. It should drop a medium green potion, and your adventurer should never be the one to pick it up. In fact, your skeleton should have to walk from way over here. So let's start the battle and let's cause it to be won. The potion comes out, the skeleton walks over, the adventurer's not touching it. Everything's looking good so far. There's one thing I forgot to account for, which is the potion might disappear by the time the skeleton makes it there. We gotta hope that doesn't happen. You know, it'd be perfect actually, is if they picked up the potion and walked over to here and then said something like, this is where I want to sell this. Okay, so next up, we gotta track the worker, and we do that when they've picked up the item, which we can't tell that they've done. No, not when they picked up the item. When the battle has ended, but then you won't know that you even got a potion. There's a tiny problem there then. Yeah, so the issue is the camera's going to be probably here, and you'll get your potion out of it. So imagine something like this happened, which, by the way, we should test this out. If we put this over here, the adventurer should pick up an item as soon as the skeleton drops the potion off. Are they going? Are they going? They're going to do it? Yes. Wait, no? Did it just disappear at the exact frame? Yeah, I think so. Okay, anyway, yeah, you're gonna get a potion out of here, and your skeleton is gonna be way over here. So we need to let you know, hey, you got a potion, but you can't sell it yet. And I was originally planning on tracking the skeleton over to here too, and then they could pick up the potion. I guess. I guess a speech bubble from your skeleton would probably be the best way of handling this. Like your skeleton is walking over, and while they're off screen, you can still see their dialogue. And then eventually they show up on screen, and you're like, oh, it's me talking to me. And then they pick up the item, and then they maybe go over to here. I think that would be ideal if they went over to the right side instead of just wandering around. Polish. Consider making the skeleton walk to the alchemist shop, where the alchemist shop will be. Also, this makes me think of something else. Note, we need to make sure this doesn't break the beginning of the game. The worker needs to be able to pick up the first potion even though you don't have the alchemist. Otherwise, the potion will disappear. We could actually make it a potion that doesn't disappear, but yeah. Oh, hi, Spurtman. Thanks for the resub. Welcome back for your 4.5 years. Thank you, thank you, thank you. As a concept of floating text above a player's head could pan to skeleton, and then he says, oh, potion. Is there a concept of floating text above a player's head? Not yet, but there could be. Although I'm not super concerned about the presentation right now so much as the content. So this is what we need to do next. Show a dialogue from the guildmaster, but in the bottom of the screen saying you found a potion, now you need a place to sell it. Maybe it should be from your skeleton, actually. From the skeleton? Saying you found a potion. Adventurer found a potion. You found a potion. It's a long time when you spell it news. Yeah, it is. I think the skeleton should say it. Skeleton would need a special state, though. Well, something needs to spawn this. And it needs to be when you finish the battle. And I guess the worker has a special state already, right? Where is that state? This. Yeah, and this transitions into wander. What we could do is, before it transitions, we could add a timed dialogue component or something. Because we know how long it takes for the worker to walk over to the potion. Although that's another problem, which is that we're going to probably slow down walking speed and mess everything up. Well, yeah, what I'm thinking here is we add our dialogue in here. We could also add it for the guildmaster. It doesn't really matter which one we add it to. But we add our dialogue in. And I guess it shows in the world. And we position it in screen coordinates. So we add it to the canvas layer in the town. Yeah, here. Didn't know making a cutscene was easier or harder than this. I think this essentially is a cutscene that we're making. There are two ways of doing cutscenes. One is you record a video and then you just play back a video. And the other is you do a cutscene with in-game actions. So you might have something like walk to well, fill bucket, walk to town, like dump water on plants or something like that. And then say, wow, sure is a nice day outside. Like, this is a set of commands that you would then run in your game engine and have ways of detecting, like, have they made it there? Has this other NPC made it to me? Are they talking? Do they change animations and everything? And the other way is, I mean, you pretty much do all this stuff ahead of time, record it, and then play that back. I think a lot of cutscenes nowadays do the game scripting way. I think gone are the days where the engine visuals were so different from the cinematic visuals. Like in the days of StarCraft, yeah, I don't think probably most computers could have handled playing the cinematics as anything other than a video file. But now people would just do that in engine. All right, so is the skeleton the one saying this? I kind of like the idea of the skeleton being the one saying this. I guess they'd be talking to an adventurer, though. Or maybe they'd say something like, my adventurer class found a potion. My mage found a potion. Won the battle and found a potion. Now I need a place to sell it. But then if you're doing this and that's you, it wouldn't be tell me more. It'd have to be the guildmaster. There'd be a look around button. Can do a mix of the animation player node, just a lot of manual keyframing. Yeah, I know what you're saying. I think at a high level, what I was talking about is that that's still a game engine way of setting something up. Like imagine making just a video that doesn't even, it's not even connected to your game in like Blender or something. But yeah, for our game, we're going to do game scripting stuff. We're not going to have 3D cinematics, 3D skeleton model. Adventure class won the battle and found a potion. Now I need a place to sell it. Okay, so let's go spawn a text dialogue and have it be special and that it's timed and knows how to delete itself. And it's probably eventually just going to be a speech bubble thing too. So we have text dialogue. We're going to make a new scene. And we're going to save this. Well, I don't know. Item or like build alchemist. What's the text say? One battle and found a potion. One first battle dialogue. How about that? TSCN. All right, this is going to instantiate in it a text dialogue. That's not how that works. This is how that works. And what does this take in? A label and close text. Yeah. So we're going to need a custom script on this. Maybe one first battle dialogue. We might change this a little bit. Not sure yet. Attach a script. So public void ready. We're going to get your text dialogue. Do that. Make sure to save. And then initialize it with whatever I wrote in here. Okay, so my adventurer class won the battle and found a potion. Now I need a place to sell it. Yeah. Look around. All right, keep on screen. Sure, I guess. Cannot override it because it's not a function. Namespace, game source, scene script. What? Oh, it's underscore ready. My goodness. Okay. So this is a dialogue that I guess you do need to close yourself. And when you close it, we're going to just free this, I guess. But then we need to advance to the next state. So gd.print. This needs to spawn a dialogue or move the camera or something. So we should probably have an initializer here that knows how to take in the skeleton it's attached to. Init node entity. Well, this is like your skeleton entity. Private node skeleton entity. Yeah. Nope. All right, now let's go make one of these. One first battle dialogue, instantiate. And we're doing this from whatever state. Yeah, first battle to end. That's what it was. And a transition. Okay, so transition out of this. So we want scenes slash one first battle dialogue. Then entity.add child scene. Or instance, I mean. And initialize the instance with the entity. And put a semicolon. All right, this is going to add the dialogue and it's just going to appear until you finally click the close button, and then nothing's going to happen. It'll just print something out. So let's go try this. Build it, hire your adventurer, whatever, start battle, don't care, click win. Yeah, so there we go. It looks really stupid. But, oh. Yeah, also with it always moving, I guess we're gonna have to center the camera on this character so that you're always looking at this at the same position on the screen. That keep on screen thing didn't work though. I guess because this is a child of a control. Why did that not work? Keep on screen equals true. Clamp to camera coordinates. How does this reposition? Only when the window size changes? Are you kidding me? Wait a second. So that means, is this still going on? So if I change the window size, it's going to show up on screen for like half a frame? Yes, it will. So every time I drag this, yeah, it's going to always show on the screen. So we need a way of doing that in a process, which we don't have right now. I guess anytime the position of this changes, which we can't even detect, we need like a set position thing. And that doesn't make sense because it's positioned based on its parent. So yeah, I guess we need a process here. Public override process. Clamp to camera coordinates. This is only if we have this thing set to be kept on screen. Yeah. If kept on screen. Okay. We need to clamp to the camera coordinates whenever this dialog moves, and it can move as a result of its parent node moving. Keeping the skeleton on screen will keep that on screen though, right? It will, yes. But the way I was thinking of having this work is that for 2 or 3 seconds after the battle's done, you're looking at the potion, and then the skeleton starts coming into view, and we center on the skeleton maybe. I'm not totally sure, but that way you could actually see the potion drop. So yeah, this is kind of what I want. I want you to be looking at the portal. You win the battle, you see the potion, and then this is very funny. And nothing tries positioning it back at the skeleton. This is probably a dumb idea. It looks so stupid. I think the keep on screen thing is kind of stupid. I think we just don't do that. And I think we do change, well, we need to move where this thing is. What is it? Position equals size divided by 2 or something like that. Where do we position text dialogues? This stuff. Yeah, right here. I want this to be in here. Does nothing do this right now? I guess not. Position equals, no, yeah. Okay, well, I think it should go like this. And maybe even bump this up a little bit more so that you see the skeleton walking. But then we need to keep it on screen. So we need the zoom level. We need probably to zoom out here. Yeah. I should probably automate some of this. Yeah, so if we center the camera on the skeleton, first of all, you wouldn't be able to see the skeleton. Second, we probably need to zoom out a little bit so that maybe even zoom out the text dialog too. And you gotta click a moving button. There's so much that's wrong. So let's try some things here. Town component TC equals get tc.town.camera.entity to track equals skeleton. Cannot convert node to node 2D. Yeah, we know it's a node 2D in this case. Makes sense to auto close the instance for the first battle too. It probably does, but then you won't have the repeat battle button. And then the next time you open the start battle dialog, you'll also be presented with the location list, which may not be a bad thing. The only issue with keeping the zoom level locked is that you might be in a small enough window where you can't see everything you need to be able to see. Like, I guess, yeah, I don't know. Moving button is a carrot on a stick. Yeah. Well, let's zoom in a bit here. All right, so we win the battle, and now it's focused on this. Yeah, my adventurer class won the battle and found a potion. I already think this is distracting. Like, trying to read this text while there's a moving background, I feel like it should just show on the bottom of the screen. And then you see the adventurer, or you see your skeleton come into view. So yeah. Well, it's a good thing we tested this at least, because this does show this was a bad idea. Oh boy. And yeah, probably closing that, or at least showing the dialogue over it. Could have like a notification bar. We have notifications, like these sorts of things, and we could keep one of these on screen. But I like a dialogue that you have to actually click to acknowledge. Yeah. Kid stole the cookie and is running around like crazy. You just can't ever get it. Yeah, this was not smart. I'm going to leave the code here for now just in case I want it later. Slides in from the top middle would work okay here too. Yeah. Yeah, pretty much anything that's not tied to the skeleton. It's got to be put into the town's world coordinates. Which means, where do we make this? This right here, yeah. Instance.init. You know what we should do is just delete this. Yeah. And that way the init can add this to the right thing. Although it won't exist in the scene tree, I guess. Yeah, this is where we get the town component and add it to the town. tc.town.ui. We can't even do that. Can you attach a picture of a tiny camera of the entity saying it to the dialog box? Yeah, you could. I think it'd be a little strange. I think just showing a picture of them and not necessarily a camera that views them in the world where they are. Otherwise, it's like we'll only use this effect for that one case, I think. All right, where do we get the UI stuff? Canvas layer UI. Yeah, there's... I never saved this, seriously? Huh. Reduce the picture and write on the black border. What do you mean? I want to search for this. And it literally only exists in one spot. Okay, let's go change that then. Canvas layer. Canvas layer UI. I want to name it something more than UI so it's easier to search for just by using find UI layer. That's pretty good. Like the ads in Twitch. Oh, I see what you're saying. I think it's okay to draw it over other things as long as the player's not confused at any point. And I'll need to test this out, but I don't think the player's going to get confused if they can see enough of the screen. UI layer. Why is this not showing up? Oh, because I named it UI layer. There we go. Now we search for the target equals and just delete that and then put this there. Anything else we had to do for this? Nope. So now this can get the UI layer and add it. And then we need to position it differently. We need to position it, I don't know, it's in screen coordinates now. So probably at the bottom of the screen. We could probably use anchors for that. For now, how about we just do this? How about we get, no, let's use anchors. Yeah, I see what you're saying. This is top tier, by the way. I love the skeleton, which is also, I don't know if you know, the silhouette of a rotary telephone. So it's the Skelephone calling you and telling you that you've got something to do. Yeah, I think this could be good. In fact, it's easier to do that and not anchor it to the bottom. So position equals center of the screen. I guess we do still want to change the anchor for this, huh? Dialog.anchor top equals 0. Text dialog.anchor bottom equals 1. How do you anchor something in the center? Oh, I will just make a new node and we'll find out. We'll just make this a label, I guess. Or a panel. Yeah, there. Okay, now how do you anchor this? Center there. Okay, what did it choose for that? 0.5. Okay, you can set 0.5s for these things. So I want the top set to 0, the bottom set to 0. And then to set a size on this thing. And left and right are set to 0.5. I don't know. We're just going to try this. And then we position this. We shouldn't even need to position it at all, right? No clue. Maybe instead of moving the speech bubble, have a picture of a character that talks, speech bubble locked at the bottom. Yeah, I think what you're talking about is what Ski pretty much linked, although he put it at the top and you're suggesting at the bottom. Let's see, the skeleton is moving. You don't need to worry about closing the battles either. Yeah. Draw and paint. I want you to draw. I want you to actually just take a photo using a Game Boy camera of a skeleton. I want this level of artwork in the game. Please find a way to get this to happen, Ski. I probably still have my Game Boy camera somewhere. I had the green one. Yeah. Man, what an era of video games. There was also some like card reader thing, I think on Game Boy Advance. Am I thinking of the right thing? Yeah, this. Oh man, I still have this thing too. It was used for so little. The Game Boy camera or the card reader thing? Because the card reader was like a super niche thing. The Game Boy camera had a little bit more popularity. But yeah, card reader. Man. All right, don't want any to track. Yeah, so I set this stuff up. I do want to skip past a lot of these states. I got to figure that out. Oh, the light thing? Do you have the like little squiggly one that went over the top of it? I can't believe there were so many days when, yeah, you just couldn't play your Game Boy because it was too dark. But now I think it's hard to find a device that doesn't have a backlight. I think the cheapest version of the Kindles don't. Like, what other consumer electronics device just doesn't have a backlight at this point? All right, there we go. So now it's showing up here. This is close to what I want. It's not centered though. It should be anchored. So if I move the window, it moves around. But its left is positioned at the center. How do I position? If I set a size here of like 600 by 200, yeah, this is positioned right at the center. And if I wanted to be off, I would change this. I don't follow what I did wrong then. Yeah, what did I do wrong? There is no positioning happening here anymore. Unless text dialog does it. I don't think it does. Position. Only if I call clamp to camera coordinates, which should never be called because I don't have it set to keep on screen, right? Keep on screen, if keep on screen. Keep on screen is set to what by default? False. Yeah, and I turned that off, didn't I? Keep on, yeah, I turned it off. What? Why isn't this centered then? I don't know. Is it because there's an anchor preset? That shouldn't matter, right? Is this even a property? It's not. Huh. Are the container settings of text dialog set up? Maybe that. Oh, maybe actually it's this. Yes, it's this. So this control is getting centered, and then the dialog comes off the bottom right of it. So we probably need to change this thing to be center. Which, where did that just put that? Yeah, in the middle of nowhere. Center top, I guess. That's still not going to work though. We need the dialog itself to be centered inside of that. Anchors, top center. Yeah, and then this can be top left or something. Is that right? Yes, I think that'll work. I think that'll work. And then we can just position it off the top of the screen a little bit. I'll worry about that later. That's very minor polish. If it's anchored to the top completely, it's okay for right now. All right, where'd the dialog go? Yeah, there. All right, that's a problem. So we do need this to be center top. Yeah. No, I think everything will be fine. We could just launch this through Godot and then be able to change this in real time. Did the game just launch twice? I don't think I meant to do that. Okay, win battle. Yeah, there we go. My adventurer class won the battle and found a potion. Now I need a place to sell it. So we need to lower this a little bit on the screen. In fact, we could just do that right now by changing this. Give me a sec. I'm trying to change it. Oh, that does not take effect immediately, apparently. I thought it would. Oh well, whatever. Okay, so yeah, my adventurer won the battle, found a potion, now I need a place to sell it. So you click look around and it would do the next thing, which is just going to print out for right now. Well, it probably did, but it's in Godot. Yeah, this needs to spawn a dialogue or move the camera or something. Yeah, so I think it's lunchtime. I did not manage to get this done in 45 minutes. That's okay. Where I left off is probably need to make the dialogue a little bit bigger. That it's obvious. Add the skeleton portrait to the dialogue. Setting anchors in code. Do you need that now? Technically, no. No, wait, yes, I do need that, I think. Unless it gets overridden. I'm not sure. All right, need to make the dialogue a little bit bigger. Wait for you to click the button. Then, yeah, do this stuff. Then I think we should be good. Your character is just going to keep walking around with a potion until you build the alchemist. All right, we'll need some kind of like slowly pan to alchemist. We'll need a slowly pan camera. It's just a tween that locks out user movement for that time. Yeah, we're doing pretty well. Anyway, once that's done, so okay, we just had we need an alchemist. It's gonna pan over to here. You're gonna build the alchemist. At that point, you'll see your character put this here. It won't say quest available because this was just a special potion, which we should probably go delete before I forget about that. Oh wait, we did not test what happens when you win the second battle. That should give you blue potions. Yes, good. Okay, so medium green potion we can delete from. Where is it? There, right there. Yeah. Where was I? Yeah. So you'll see to build this, and then you'll sell a potion, and at that point, there should probably be some other dialogue that says like, "Great job. Why don't you go do some more battles now," or something like that. After you build the shop, probably shows something like, "Great job. Now that we can sell potions, let's go find more by starting more battles." And then something needs to tell you to hire an adventurer at some point. Yeah. Okay. I am gonna get lunch. It is 12:19. I'll be back in about an hour, and then I'll stream for another 2 to 3 hours. Still working on this stuff. The new player experience. We need to get balance done at some point, and we need to add a wish list button in the game. Unfortunately, there's not a lot of time to work on this today, and then I've got tomorrow, which I don't plan on streaming for. Then on Friday, we're launching this thing, so yep, crunch time. Anyway, thank you all for watching. I hope to see you again after lunch. If not, have a good rest of your day. And don't forget, Friday's the launch of the next alpha version. See ya!